Ladies and gentlemen, lions and tigers and bears. Oh shit! For this is a Fred the Alien Productions podcast.
I know that reference.
Yeah. It's a reference within a reference.
Reference Inception.
Referenceception, exactly.
That's like 16 references.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Mind blown. Already 10 seconds in. Let's go. Cue the music.
Cute.
I don't know what we're yelling about! We came, we saw, we kicked its ass!
Wait a minute. Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me you built a time machine? Kind of a DeLorean?
The way I see it, if you're gonna build a time machine into a car, why not do it with some style?
Who is this? What's your operating number?
Boring conversation anyway.
Look, we're gonna have company! Loud noises!
Hello.
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 I'm a Kendall Richardson.
I'm a Fulya and
And I'm a very cozy, snuggly man with sleeping gown, Michael Lister.
And you're now experiencing a podcast called Fred.
Yeah, it's experiencing it through the mediums of the internet and on a Monday late. Oh, it's almost my Friday work week. For me.
Indeed, yes. Cool. Well, welcome everyone to the show. Thanks for joining us. Let's just get right into it because we've got a lot to talk about today. Starting with our weekly watchings. Fulya, take it away, please.
Yeah, so I decided to do a rewatch of another Pixar animated film because I just felt like it. And I rewatched Turning Red. That thing is still awesome. It's such a great movie.
Nice.
I love it so much. And the music always just, they kill it with the music. And everything's still relatable. I still feel all the feels from that movie because it makes me feel like a kid again. And I'm just like, man, if my parents, they weren't as bad as what May's parents were in the movie, but man, they're also quite embarrassing sometimes. But like, I understand the whole, embarrassed to the point of being angry. It's like, why did you do this? So, yeah, Turning Red, such a great movie. Definitely recommend watching it. I also jumped into a show this past week. Watched the first episode of it. It's also on Disney Plus. Shifting Gears. This is the Tim Allen and Kate Dennings sitcom series on Disney Plus, and it's all right, but it's Tim Allen being Tim Allen, just like he was in Last Man Standing, just like he was in Home Improvement. He's just spouting a lot of stuff about politics, about cars. That hasn't changed. That honestly has not changed. So the first episode is, it's okay. It didn't really have it didn't have big laughs for me. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure that I might go back to it, but I might give it another chance just because I've only watched one episode. It's essentially, Tim Allen's character is essentially a dad of a daughter who ended up running away from home essentially after leaving after the mother of the family ended up passing away, and yeah, they had a hard time trying to, like, their grieving process was pretty rough, and she fell in love with a person that the dad did not approve of, and so she fell pregnant and she ran away, and now she's back as an adult with her 2 kids, asking for the dad's help. And the dad and her don't really have a great relationship. They don't really know how to communicate very well together because the mother was their bridge. And now that the mother is no longer with them, unfortunately, they have to figure out how to try and build a bridge together so that they can communicate. And so it does, like, the story, it's really interesting in the way that this is all coming together, but the fact that it's the same, like, it's a Tim Allen character that hasn't really changed apart from the fact that it's now a newer, more modern age. I'm not sure. I'm kind of getting tired of the same character trope for him. I wish they could, give him something a little bit more, or if he could do something a little bit more. But I feel like he's just very comfortable in that role. But yeah, it's all right. It's not bad. I might try and give it another shot. But an anime series that I started up this week because I felt like I needed to watch something new because my Dress Up Darling finished its second season this past week. The final episode happened for season 2, and I don't know that there's going to be a continuation. I think that's pretty much it for the show. So I'm very sad. I'm going to miss the show. It was really fun. It was very funny. But I started a series called Rascal Does Not Dream of a Bunny Girl Senpai. And it's an interesting title, to say the least. But I've had my eye on this particular series for a while because I've also I've come across the movie as well, and there's actually 3 movies and 2 seasons of the series, and it's essentially after, I'll just read the IMDb description. After experiencing puberty syndrome, quote unquote, himself, high school pariah Sakuta keeps meeting girls suffering from it, including his sister and actor May. So May, who is an older high school student, older than Sakuta, she's going through what's called puberty syndrome. And essentially what puberty syndrome is the fact that something in the air is happening around them in their life. And it, like, depending on what it is for that person, it's different for each person. And it happens to them at a young age. So for May, she, for whatever reason, is becoming more and more invisible to people to the point where she's being written out of existence. And she's this very famous young actor. So she was a kid actor who's grown up in the limelight. And now, all of a sudden, she's slowly disappearing from people's memories, to the point where she doesn't exist. And so Sakuta is finding out that when someone falls asleep and wakes up the next day, they've forgotten who this person is. It's almost like a 51st Dates kind of a situation, because then Sakuta ends up falling asleep because he tried staying awake for a few days, but he got to the point where he was in such a zombie kind of a, like the way that he looked like a zombie. He was extremely tired, and he was in the middle of his exam period at high school. And so he was falling asleep in class and during exams. So May, because those two decided that they started dating, and May decided to give him a drink that had sleeping pills in it and made him sleep because she felt bad that he was staying awake for her. So he fell asleep and woke up to completely not remembering anything. But then he saw his journal on his desk to find out that he's been writing notes to himself to not forget this person. And that cycle kind of continues. And I've kind of watched the first few episodes of it, and I'm really liking it. it's kind of funny. It's a bit of slice of life kind of with it's coming of age kind of a thing, and I like it. It's a teen drama, but it's also got some comedy to it. So yeah, it's fascinating to learn about these different versions of puberty syndrome for each person. So yeah, I've been enjoying it so far.
Reminds me also of Memento. You should watch Memento.
Yeah. I was gonna say the notes thing made me think of Memento. Yeah,
Memento, which from
it's a movie.
From
It's a
what
movie
year?
from Christopher Nolan.
It's a Christopher Nolan film. Yeah, from like 1999,
Really?
2000
2000
or 90 or 98. I can't remember if it was before
Something
the
like that,
Matrix or
yeah.
after the Matrix, because Carrie Ann Moss is in it.
Yeah.
Memento.
Guy Pearce. isn't it?
Memento. Guy Pearce. Guy Pearce
Yeah.
is the main. Yeah, it's a really good movie, Fulya. Like it's literally like Guy Pearce. He can't remember more than like, he's got short-term memory loss basically, and he like
Goldfish.
goldfish syndrome sort of thing. Like he's like leaving himself notes. He's writing on his skin. He's tattooing himself, and there's like a murder at the heart of the story. Or like
Yeah,
he's trying to solve his
it's a mystery.
brother's murder or something. There's like a something like that.
Partners.
Partner's death. Yes.
Wife. I think wife.
Wife. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's trying to. It's a mystery told in reverse, because you start at the end, but for him it's the beginning because he's trying to go back and learn.
Okay, interesting.
It's really
I think
clever.
it was it's in like two sections and blended into each other, where
Yeah.
sections the story that you start is in color, but I think it's the past is in black and white, but the scenario's in color. Yeah, it's sort of touch on as like now we're in this section and then this section, and they sort of go backwards. It's a very mind screwy film.
Sounds like a Christopher Nolan movie.
Yeah, it's a Christopher Nolan. He likes his time travel.
Yes, I should probably watch that since I loved
Yeah.
my Inception and Tenet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you should absolutely watch it.
The coloured sections are going forwards, and the black and whites are going backwards.
Yeah.
If memory
Okay.
serves.
It's very clever.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, if you're ever interested in watching the show Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai, it's on Crunchyroll.
Senpai.
And there's only 13 episodes. And then it sort of goes into a movie, and then I think it goes into three movies, and then I think there's like one more season, but each one is titled different. So the first season is titled Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai, but then the movie is completely different. Like it's still Rascal Does Not Dream of a Dreaming Girl, which is the movie, and then there's a Christmas series that just came out this year called Rascal Does Not Dream of Santa Claus. Yeah, and there's another movie, Rascal Does Not Dream of a Knapsack Kid. So
Oh, that rascal.
that
Always
rascal,
forgetting.
yes. So yeah, it's a really interesting show, and I'm really enjoying it so far. So I will keep you all updated on that one, and that is all I've been watching.
Wonderful. That's very, very, very cool. Thank you for sharing. Mike, what have
Hello.
you been watching this week? Hello.
Hello. I've been watching a lot. Having said that, I may have forgotten to remember. No. What's words again? English. Hello. I may forget certain details in Onimers in the building, because I have seen it, but I've watched a lot between that and now,
Since
so-
then, yeah.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Because still watching my Critical Role, because campaign 4 just started. So I've been
Ooh.
watching that as well. And that is a lot of fun because they changed it up. Instead of like your normal like D&D campaign, there's now, instead of the seven main cast, they've bumped it up to 13, which is insane. And people are coming in and out of the game. And the DM is now not Matt Mercer; he's now a player. The DM is Brandon Lee Mulligan, who
No way.
yeah.
Holy
And-
shit.
and it's they're going it's like a performance sort of piece where they're actually doing scenes. There's the first 4 sessions. There's only 2 that's been released, but the first 4 are basically getting to know these characters, and then they're getting into the main story after the 4. It's a huge undertaking because there's 13 people who are playing, and everyone's got equal billing, and like the first one, just a quick spoiler for the first episode. Instead of having the normal, everyone gets to meet each other in a tavern, because that's the main go. It's like, how's these random people going to meet up with each other? So it's like this one is going. It starts off with a funeral of a character's brother, and it just spans into that of the world, because it's a new world, because stuff happened with the previous campaign, and yeah, it's really interesting and great. I'm really loving the sort of different take it's having. It's a bit of a the fan base is sort of bit strange about the change. I don't mind it. I think it's pretty fascinating because they're doing scenes instead of everyone being at the same location, and it's very easy to follow. I mean, episodes go for 4 hours, so, and I've been watching it live, so I'm spending instead of doing my normal speeding up the thing, I'm actually watching it live, and I'm actually really enjoying it. So would I recommend it? Not for everyone, I don't think. If you're going to sit down and watch something for 4 hours. Luckily, it's fallen upon a day where I'm not working, but I'm by myself, which is great. So I've been watching it while I'm fixing up the garden shed. So I've been watching it on my phone. It's like, oh my god, yeah. So that's been good. Smiling Friends season 3 is out, so I watched that. That's insane. I love that humor. Speaking of humor, the first episode of The Chair Company is out, and the only way I can describe it is a psychological thriller comedy. It's really interesting. You can sort of see, it's like, you could so turn this into a serious drama, but it's Tim Robbins, and it's his humor, and I love it. It's so stupid. He's working at he's not working at the chair company. He's working at a firm that deals with malls, like restorations and like a bit like an architect sort of thing. But an incident occurred where he was giving like this big speech in front of like investors and employers and employees. He's in charge of he's in charge with a unit section, and he finishes his speech, clap, and he sits down on a chair, and the chair breaks, and he falls on his ass. and so he he's sort of trying to figure out, is like, oh, his chair broke, and then sees the company of the chair and says, hey, maybe the manufacturing is bad, so he goes into it, and then they sort of blindsided him of trying to find, like, there's only a number he can call, he can't really email. It's like, oh, what's going on? And he's sort of like being really really paranoid about it, like thinking maybe someone sabotaged the chair, maybe there's a big conspiracy, and this is the first episode, and then he's like, oh, maybe this is all this is what I'm doing is stupid, and then at the end of the episode, someone like just smacks him around. It's like, stop looking into the chair company, and hits him with a lead pipe. And then he wakes up and just runs after him.
Wow.
So yeah, it's great. I would recommend it if you are familiar with Tim Robinson's humor. Otherwise, probably not. But Fulya, what you said about Tim Allen, maybe give this a go, because it's stupid humor. Yeah. Speaking of stupid, me and the wife sat down to watch a movie because we were talking about it, and apparently she hasn't seen it, so I introduced her to One Who Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. So we watched that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's a good movie. She goes, yeah, it's an interesting film. It sort of dragged along. It's like, yeah, it's a 70s movie. But she was really like surprised to see a lot of young faces, because she hasn't seen it, and she's the first time seeing like a young Jack Nicholson sort of, and also a young Danny DeVito and a young Christopher Lloyd. So that's bizarre for him, for her, and yeah, that's it was and rewatching is like, yeah, this is good. I do enjoy it. It's definitely slow pace, and it's very cool. Gen V, see episode 6. It definitely is connecting to the boys a bit more than the previous. So there sort of is a acquired viewing for the last season of the boys, and yeah, and people coming back, which is great. Carlos.
Yes.
Yeah.
Giancarlo, our buddy, our friend.
Our buddy, our friend, our villain. Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know.
Our good time boy.
Yeah, our good time boy. That requires a rewatch as well. I miss it.
Yes. Same.
Yeah. And that's going good. And also finishing up, and we finished Monster, the Ed Gein story. Quite bizarre. I don't know what to make of it. They definitely take a lot of liberties, because I've been, as a person who likes history, reading up about it and how it's not necessarily faithful, but there's not really much to go on. So I do appreciate that they sort of do what influenced, what movies and stuff were influenced by the story. And I don't know, I think it's more cynical to, why do you like watching true crime stuff? So it's definitely turning the thing to the audience, say, hey, why do you like this stuff? Because he's not a good person, and especially the last episode, they definitely make out as like a big celebration of him. It's like, this is more more cynical than the previous iterations. Like, I haven't seen the Mendes brothers, but I have seen Dharma, and there was some controversy of like glorifying like Dormer, and I don't know. I think it's sort of saying, okay, well, there you go. Here's the last episode that doesn't really fit within the stuff, and I'm not sure about the shoehorning into trying to him being one of the key elements to get Ted Bundy, which didn't happen. But I think they were probably putting it in to make it make more of the connection to Hannibal Lecter sort of thing, which he was more Buffalo Bill than Hannibal Lecter. So yeah. Sorry, you were going to say something.
Yeah. I was just gonna. You kind of said it already. I was just gonna say like because I remember when like Dharma especially, a lot of people were kind of protesting against it because they were like, why are we glorifying this monster? And you know, and like Evan Peters won all these awards, rightfully so, because like holy shit, like he was amazing in that. But like, so this kind of what you're describing, because I still haven't watched it, what you're describing really sounds to me like their response, like Ryan Murphy going, okay, you think we're glorifying these evil people, then take a look at this. We're actually not. We're asking the question, why are you doing it?
Well,
yeah.
Contextually, they are. There's sort of like a big celebration in the last episode.
That's so weird. Like, yeah, you're describing it as like they're cynical, but then they're also then like saying, you know, but let's celebrate them. Like, it's like I don't get it. It does sound a bit of a mishmash of a tone or a theme going through this thing. So I'm really, I don't know. I'm curious. I'm still gonna watch it, but I'm just like, this sounds weird.
Yeah. I don't know where to place it in, because it's not really true crime, because it's definitely taking liberties of what actually happened. But I do admire the fact that they did do that, because there isn't really much in the story, because it was at a time where forensics was non-existent, so they can't really do DNA or anything like that, because in the show they have all these pieces of bodies, but they're trying to figure out who belonged to what, and they're only going by sight or anything like that. So yeah, very interesting. And then I will leave it up to the final episode of Peacemaker. I really enjoyed the entire season being more to do with character-driven story instead of like action-packed adventure like in the first season. Overall, I think the first season was great because it ended up being a climactic, like world-ending sort of scenario, and this one didn't. It was more to do with the actual universe, like momentum, but it's more focused on these characters that we've just enjoyed watching. And every character has their moment to shine and their moment of like figuring out themselves. And I hope these characters come back. Will there be a Peacemaker season 3? I don't know. I think they can just leave it be because now they're doing other stuff with this universe. Yeah. And you can sort of tell with the people who've watched it because I watch a lot of videos like analysis and that, and a lot of people who have read the comics. Like I haven't really for DC, but they're really excited because certain things turn up but for the people who didn't, were hoping for something, but it didn't happen, so they're sort of mixed in their analysis. I was like, the last season had a big alien invasion, and they stopped it, and then it was a big justice crew. Was it justice gang level threat? And this one it didn't. It's more to do with Chris having contraband, and Argus wanted to get their hands on it. Yeah. Overall, sort of a small deal. No, not really much, but it's more to do with characters than actual thing. We should have seen Brainiac turn up. We should have seen Darkseid turn up. It's like, that's not the story that they're doing, and I do appreciate it. Anyway, what about you, Kendall?
Yes,
Did you like or dislike? Best thing in the world or worst thing in the world? It's only those two.
In terms of like
Peacemaker.
Peacemaker.
Or what do you watch?
Yes, Peacemaker. Yes, Peacemaker is done, and yeah. James Gunn's actually said that he's not planning a season 3 at this stage, so I'm sad right now. I'm in mourning that this show is not coming back. However, it's obviously not the.
Shut up, Fulya.
Was that a celebration, Miss Cantamachi?
I don't know what you're talking about. Go on.
It's still required viewing to get the next Superman film.
I can skip it. It's fine.
Nah.
No.
Nah.
No.
You're going to have to work out how.
No skip.
The synchronized no.
Well, I guess you know we're in sync. That's good. Yes. So, yes. No season 3, but the show will continue. The story will continue on in the DC.
The characters will come back.
The characters will come back. Obviously, like, there's a big cliffhanger at the end of the season with what happens to Chris, and I won't say what it is, because it's just like, how the fuck is he going to get out of this one? But yeah, so they're definitely going to address it at some point. I don't know what form it's going to take, but it'll happen. But yeah, that being said, yeah, it was cool to have a long episode. It was twice the length of most of the episodes this season. So they packed a lot in. I enjoyed seeing, Argus exploring all the many doors of these alternate dimensions, and just how messed up most of them was quite entertaining and very James Gunn. So that felt on brand. And then Harcourt is just great, and I adore her, and Adebayo is great, and Economos is great, and everyone's just great. I love the 11th Street Kids so much. I think they're the best. Like, they give me, they're Guardians of the Galaxy. They're the Scooby Gang. They're like, that group of
ragtag bunch that, shouldn't work together but does. They don't work individually, but as a group they're fucking kick-ass. Yeah, so I'm gonna miss them. But we will see them again in some other form. But I was like, you make a good point, Mike, and I feel like I need to kind of, I have been a little bit more critical of this season, I think. Like, I've still really enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed season 1 more. Because I felt it did a better job of, because I think I seem to like, as much as I like character-driven stuff, I also like a bit of stakes and like big world sort of stakes in this kind of story, because, like, the first season did such a good job of balancing those, apocalyptic stakes with, this sort of sad story at the center, where you've got Chris Smith, who's, he did what he thought was right. He didn't defy orders, and then look where it's gotten him. And his dad's a fucking Nazi, and it's just that he and he killed his brother accidentally, and just so there's you've got that emotional character driven core at the heart of it, and then you've just got all the superhero shenanigans going on around it, and I kind of like that as an offering more than I liked just pure character driven. I mean, yeah, there's still the superhero stuff going on with, you've got alternate dimensions, and,
Elseworld stories are some of my favorite in this genre. I love alternate realities. I'm a big fan. So it was so cool to see, what they thought was this perfect world here, and it's not. That was a lot of fun. And what they did with it was really good. And as we said last week, the best acting John Cena's ever delivered. So like just 10 out of 10 performance. So yeah, it's just, it's apples and oranges. I feel like I'm kind of at the point where I shouldn't really compare the two. Like they're both very good. They're just different approaches to storytelling. So
and also with the first season, James Gunn was because there was situations like the DC EU was floundering, and they needed to get something like good on, and Suicide Squad, the Suicide Squad, came out, and then Powers of B is like, oh, we need maybe more. Have you got any more in the tank? It's like, okay, I've got this idea. It's like, go with it. Do I have any parameters? No. Sandbox. Go for it. Like, and he chucked in everything that he wanted. Like, Batmite was referenced, and Kite Man and all this stuff.
Everyone.
And saying that Superman has a poop fetish, and all this stuff. And then lo and behold, he's now in charge of the entire universe. It's like, what can I do now that can continuate the story but still have it sort of small, I guess, because you can't really go too big like what he did. And I think that sort of like tied his hands to it instead of having like this big thing, because he just did it with Superman of having the gates of hell just open up in Superman. So what can you do? Sort of, yeah. I can sort of see why he sort of made it a bit more of a localized story than what he can do with Superman. Like all the other stuff, like Supergirl is going to be a non Earth story. It's going to be out in the thing, and then you got the Lanterns coming out next year as well, which is what that's going to be. I haven't read too much on it, but I think that's a series as well.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, a series. So, and that's going to be tied in somehow with it as well. So, yeah, I think you're right. It's two separate things instead of being one. I mean, yeah. Maybe they should have named it something else. The 11th Street Kids continuation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit. Yeah, no, it's good, and it's set up interesting things going forward. So I'll miss Peacemaker as a show, but the characters are still going to be there. So
yeah,
I will enjoy in
except
other
for
ways.
Chris.
Well, we don't know. No. Nope. We're not going there. All right. Speaking of superheroes,
all I'm saying, they'll probably chuck Superman in their buddy cop movie.
I'd watch the hell out of that. Thank you very much. Take all of my money.
Yeah. There's going to be Lost trying to get off the island.
Yeah. Okay. Gen V. Yes. Great. Continues to be great week after week. Greater and greater. Yes, Stan Edgar makes an appearance in this episode. Giancarlo Esposito. He started in this universe as very much a villain, and now he's kind of, sort of, I guess, an anti-hero maybe, because he's still a billionaire dude. He just wants to take Vought back, and Vought, what's the lesser of two evils? How Vought is currently run versus how Stan Edgar wants to run it, sort of thing. Like, it's just, and him versus the Dean, and especially like the way they we get a lot of exposition in this episode as to what Cypher's up to and what he really wants, and then like just the totality of Marie's ability and what that means, and yeah, it was great. It's really good, and I'm really glad that her sister just didn't completely shut her out like she tried to, but then by the end it was just okay, things are a little okay. But yeah, it's really great. I really am enjoying that show quite a bit. I'm really glad it exists because The Boys is ending next year, and we need more from that universe, so it's good. And there's obviously the other one, the other spin-off coming with Jensen Ackles in it, who now has a lot of free time on his hands because his show Countdown got cancelled. So now he can just be Soldier Boy all the time. Yes, Jensen Ackles, Soldier Boy. Jensen. Okay. Yes.
What did he play? Countdown.
Yeah, he was on a show called Countdown, not to be confused with all the other shows in the world called Countdown.
He
Yes.
played the Molly Meldrum character.
Yeah.
Do yourself a favor.
Do yourself a favor and watch Gen V. Yes. So, yes, I have other things to mention. Speaking of TV, I decided, because now that I am in a living situation where I can, my partner can pay for certain streaming services and I can pay for streaming services. I have all this ability now to have all the streaming services. I don't have them all, but I have more than I did before. So I have Paramount. I've gotta catch them all. No, I have Paramount Plus again. I've resubbed to Paramount Plus. Mostly just so I could watch Yellow Jackets season 3, because that aired earlier in the year and I just never got around to getting back on the bandwagon and devouring it. And I finally did, because I ran out of other things that I was watching and I had some time, so I thought I'd dive back in. And they've just announced as well that that's ending with its 4th and final season next year, which I think is good, because after I've seen this season, it was really good, but it's definitely, like, the way the 3rd season ended, I'm like, okay, they're definitely setting this up for a finale. And when they announced that season 4 was the end, I was not surprised at all. So yeah, I think it's definitely the kind of story that you can't really stretch out more than 4 or 5 seasons if you really wanted to. So best for them not to overstay their welcome. There's only so many scenes of them hunting each other and eating each other, and it's a really messed up show. Lots of death and cannibalism.
Spoilers.
Spoilers.
It's on my list. Thanks for
Oh,
spoiling.
good. Well, I mean, what do you think happens? I guess stranded in the wilderness.
No,
Anyway,
I don't know. I just know it as the female version of Lord of the Flies.
Basically, yeah. Basically, that's another way to sell it. Yes. Well, I've talked about Yellow Jackets before on the podcast, so I've probably spoiled more before. But anyway.
But I refuse to listen.
It's just completely forget everything I just said. But that being said, I enjoyed season 3, and I'm really liking how. I mean, it is getting a bit ridiculous, I will say, but I do really like the fact that, like, the character that you kind of think is like the main. Like, she's sort of the main focus, the main character, and the protagonist of the story. But now she's almost doing a Walter White, I think. She's almost kind of turning and becoming more of the antagonist. Not really a villain, but just more of a, like, we don't want to root for this person anymore because this person is actually mentally unstable. So, yeah. But anyway, so it was really, really good. I liked it. And Hilary Swank had a cameo, and she played the older version of one of the kids, because the show flashes forward between the past and the present. So that was a cool twist. Spoilers. Yeah. No, it's really good. I really like the show, and I'm really excited to see where and how it ends. So that's going to be good. And then the last thing I'll mention, clearing my throat. I went to the movies last week. Went to the movies, which I love. I love doing, as everyone knows. The really cool thing about this is that before I tell you what movie I saw, I'll tell you how I saw it. I went to Melbourne's first and only Screen X cinema. It's at Melbourne Central Hoyts. I'm sure you guys both know what Screen X is, having listened to Fat Man Beyond. But for those who don't know, Screen X is basically the screen wraps around the side. So you've got your front on normal, sort of widescreen sort of cinema screen going on, but then it wraps around the walls. It was really cool. You pay a little bit more obviously for the experience. Like it's like not as expensive as Gold Class, but it's more than an extreme screen or VMAX ticket, basically. But it was so worth the money, and I'm definitely gonna go do it again. But yeah, the cinema was so fresh. We walked in, and you could just smell the new leather of the seats. Like it was just everything was just it just had new car smell, new cinema smell all over it. Yeah, what we saw was Tron Ares.
Okay. I just at randomly I saw the Tron bike at PAX.
Oh, cool.
Yes, very cool
Cool.
looking bike that everybody could go up and post photos with.
That's
But
cool.
tell us your thoughts on this movie because I'm hearing a lot of different reviews.
Yeah, it's definitely coming out as a mixed bag film because after my partner and I watched it, and we had our own thoughts, and then we were like, well, because he and I both big film buffs, and we watch a lot of film review stuff on YouTube. Like we watched a few of our, people that we, reviewers that we like to watch their thoughts on it, and even their thoughts were skewed. Like some of them really loved it, some of them thought it was a waste of time. Like it's just it's I think the mileage will vary for every person who watches this movie. As for my opinion, because as Wayne would say, my opinion is only what counts. That's a Wayne Stellini quote, not from me. I liked it.
Okay.
I liked it. I enjoyed it. It was better than I expected. I had low expectations going in. Maybe that's why. I also only watched the first two movies like in the last 6 weeks. I may have mentioned on the podcast a little while back that I did that, watched Tron and then Tron Legacy. Yes. So that's all fresh in my mind. But yeah, going into this and just going like, okay, it's the grid coming into the real world. It's the, it's the digital programs, made manifest in our dimension, and that concept was executed pretty well. With like the only problem being, I thought it would be more of the movie. The movie was very much kind of split between the grid and our world, so it was more of a 50-50 split than be like more of like a 75-25, which is what I was expecting. But that's not really to knock it. I think like it's a fine enough story. A lot of most people have been complaining about the story being weak. I think it's fine. Like they've decided, I mean, what you can't really do much when they don't want actors from the previous movies coming back. Like how can you work around that and then just sort of to just either excuse them off screen in some manner, and that's that is what that is. But I think it's fine. Like you've got Greta Lee is in this. She's the main actress in this. I saw her in Past Lives a couple years ago. Amazing movie that I recommend highly. She's been in a few things lately. Like she's very much an up and coming actress. She's in The Morning Show as well on Apple. But yeah, she was really good. Like she's basically running the tech company now, and she has cracked the code, like cracked the permanence code, they call it. That's the MacGuffin of the movie, is that everyone is trying to get this permanence code to make the digital things permanently real, because the crux of it is, and this is, I thought this was really clever, like they can only exist in our dimension for 29 minutes, and then they, you know, collapse and revert back into the digital world. So that makes for some good, like, intense scenes with, like, lots of, obviously there's lots of chases on the, you know, on the bikes and on various aircraft and whatnot. Like, it's, the action's great. I liked it a lot. Visually, it's stunning. Like, it looks like the trailers really sold how good this movie looks. So I just love watching this for the visuals. And a lot of people, like, that's the one universe. There's two things. Well, actually, no. The only, I should say, the only thing everyone agreed on in every review that I've seen is that visually it's stunning. It's amazing. Like, it's a feast for the eyes. That's really good. The other thing that nearly everyone says is also amazing is the score, done by Nine Inch Nails. I fucking loved the score. It was so good. I want to buy the soundtrack. I need to buy the soundtrack, I think, because it was just so good. Like, just, you're so in. It just really helps immerse you in the world and what's going on in front of you. And yeah, and Jared Leto was good. I don't know if my bias is coming into it because I'm a fan of his, but Mike's shaking. No, he's not shaking. He's nodding his head.
No, nod my head like this.
But he's playing a program. Like, he's playing like, it's a pretty easy kind of performance. There's not a lot to it, and I think what he has to do in the movie, I think he's fine at. Like, he mostly just, you know, stares blankly and looks attractive for most of the film, and then he'll, you know, he gets a couple of funny moments which I didn't feel forced at all. Like, there's a little bit of humor in this movie, and it actually plays really well. Like, the cinema was genuinely laughing, so that's good. But yeah, it not at him. No, not at him. It was really nice to see him playing a character that I felt sympathy for. I felt empathy for, because he wants to be a real boy, basically. Like, he's Aries, so his whole thing is that he goes through this journey of realizing that he wants to be real. And it's good. You want him to be. I think, you know, he was very endearing. And yeah, this movie was a lot better than Morbius. Not that that's hard, but a lot of people are comparing it to Morbius, obviously, because that was Jared Leto's last flop. And a lot of the reports coming out this weekend are saying that, box office wise, Tron Ares has made less money than Morbius in its opening weekend. Which,
what is the connecting factor?
Sucks. Yeah, Jared Leto. I know. Like, he's fine. He's like, and I said the same thing about Morbius. I'm like, there's nothing wrong with the performance. The problem with Jared Leto is people don't like what he does off screen in terms of the method shit. It's that fucking Suicide Squad movie ruined his career, in my opinion. I'm just gonna say it. He should never have played the Joker. Should never have done that movie, because everyone liked him before then. He won an Oscar. He was like the boy from Louisiana who, you know, made good and fucking won an Oscar and had a rock band, and now he's got a weird EDM synth pop band, and everyone thinks he's a fucking cult leader. So I don't know what happened, man. I don't know what happened. Anyway, but just one last note. Tron Legacy, Tron Ares in Screen X. Holy fucking shit, yes. What a perfect movie to experience this format on for the first time. Like, and it was more of the movie than expected, because at the start they put up a disclaimer that tells you that it, you know, not everything in the film is going to be wrapping around you, and when it does, you have to look directly at the screen. But it was more of this movie than we expected. based on that statement. So I was very happy that like 80% of the movie was literally all around us, and it was so fucking cool. So yeah, I look, if you want a popcorn movie to go see, definitely go see this on a big screen because it looks fantastic and the sound is incredible and the music is incredible. And the story is fine. It's not a bad movie. Anyone that says it's a bad movie just needs a reality check or needs to go touch grass or something. 'Cause it's not a bad film. So
Or understand that,
Morbius is a bad movie.
or understand that all Tron movies are not that great.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing. It's like, yeah, I watched one review that was just it literally just talked about how there was a Tron movie and it bombed, but then it found a cult following, and so 25 years later, based on that cult following, they made another movie, and then it bombed, and then 15 years later, they based on that cult following that it got, it they made another. Like it's just this repetitive cycle of yeah.
I watch Red Letter Media too.
Hey! Yes. They're great. I really like them.
Yeah.
Shout out to Red Letter Media. Yes.
Hello.
They're not the guys you would expect to be movie reviewers on YouTube, but here we are. They're great.
Yeah.
They're just your average, ordinary dudes being very funny and talking about films. I enjoy watching. That's fantastic, Mike. That's great. All right, let's move on because that's the weekly watchings. It's time now to dive on in to the week that was in the nerdy news.
Yes. Yes.
This is the news, the nerdy news. The nerds that talk about the nerdy news. That is us who talk about the news that is nerdy. And now the queen of nerdydom, the hostess with mostest, Kendall Richardson.
Go.
Take it away,
Go.
Kendall.
Yeah. I think that's long enough. It's nerdy news time. It's nerdy news time. Yes, we need a laugh. We need a laugh because we're about to be sad for a few minutes. While we pay our respects to, of course, the incomparable and incredible Diane Keaton, who passed away this weekend at the age of 79. Sudden, shocking. Everyone's upset about it, understandably. She was a legend, an icon of cinema, an Oscar-winning actress, starring in some of the best known movies ever. Like she was in the Godfather movies. She worked with a certain director I'm not going to name because he's problematic, but
Which one?
yeah, which director are you talking about? Yes, Annie Hall. Need I say more? Manhattan as well is another one. But then later in her career, you've got Father of the Bride with Steve Martin. She's great in those movies. But for me, it's First Wives Club. And hopefully I don't cry. Because First Wives Club is easily in my top 10 favorite films ever. I've seen this movie like 15 times probably. Like I've lost count. It's one of my favorite comedies ever. It's just so good. It hits every time I watch it. Every time I watch it, it's like the first time, except I know all the dialogue because I've seen it many times. But it's just brilliant, and it's when I think of Diane Keaton, I think of First Wives Club and her incredibly neurotic and insane performance as Annie. She's sort of the central focus of the plot because it's when her marriage sort of falls apart that kind of makes the three of them, Bette Midler and Goldie Hawn, kind of go, we need to get back at our ex-husbands because they all cheated on us with younger women. It's if you haven't, I'm sure both of you have seen it. I'm guessing it's yeah, I don't need to really say that it's one of the best movies you'll ever watch. It's just so much fun. It's hysterical. That my favorite scene in that movie is the after their friend sadly dies in the film, and they're sort of having their own little wake, and they go out for dinner and drinks, and it's just this montage of them catching up after like 15-20 years of not seeing each other, and it's every single part of that sequence is just the best. And Diane was a huge part of why that scene and that movie works. Just everything she did was just great, and she was just so humble, and like she did not have any airs or ego to her at all, and she was just purely herself. I have been seeing a lot of people on Instagram talking about her, and I just wanted to share this little bit before I pass to Fulya, but because it's sort of relevant to the podcast. But the actress Sophia Bush, she shared a bunch of different stuff on her Instagram about Diane, like interview excerpts and pictures and stuff. And this was one interview Diane did with Martin Short. And Martin Short goes, "Your acting style is so authentic, it often gives the audience the impression that you're improvising. How faithful are you to the writer's actual words?" And Diane says, "I do kind of mess them up a bit. I'm surprised that I'm still working. I always feel much better when I can play around more. You nailed it, Marty. I do love to loosen up the script." And then Martin Short says, "Who's sexier, me or Steve Martin?" And then without missing a beat, Diane Keaton goes, "I mean, you're both idiots." And I just like, that's gold. Fucking gold. I had to share it. Yeah. She was one of a kind, and we're really going to miss her. So thank you so much, Diane, for bringing some light and laughter and talent to this world. Okay, Fulya, please tell me your thoughts on the late, great Diane Keaton. How are you feeling at her passing?
Yeah, look, it is a sad day. Honestly, was not expecting this. This was when I heard about it pop up in a Discord server. I was just like, no way she passed away. That is insane. So yeah, very sad to hear the news. I personally have only really seen her in First Wives Club. I don't know that I've actually gone out of my way to watch any of her other films, or even come across her in any other films that I've watched. So, but yeah, she's really funny in that movie. I really adored her and her character in that film. She's really good. So yeah, I think I kind of need to go, and I feel like I should go watch Father of the Bride, like, because she's in that with Steve Martin, and they're really good sort of family comedies. I don't know why I haven't watched them, but I feel like it's definitely something I should probably get around to at some point. But yeah, no, yeah, Diane Keaton, wow, it's a big loss to Hollywood. So yeah, she's definitely gonna be missed.
For sure, and absolutely, you should watch Father of the Bride. Even part 2. I mean, part 1's the best, but part 2's, an okay sequel.
And there's also a part 3.
There is ish a part 3-ish. Yes,
Ish. It's
on,
a short
on YouTube. Yes, you can check that out.
During COVID.
Mike, yes, during COVID. Mike, please share your thoughts on the late and wonderful Diane Keaton.
Yeah, same. First Wives Club. I mean, I can't be a son of a single mum without knowing that movie and growing up in the 90s. Yeah, definitely that movie sort of made me respect women, and just the powerhouse, with all those three women just taking the action, taking the chance, and all that. And yeah, Father of the Bride is a good watch. I do recommend that for you. I like 2, but I did like 3 as well. because there was nothing else to watch, and it was just a nice little oh, where are these characters now, and how are they handling current situations, and a lot of good cameos in that as well, and people coming back, and yeah, it is sad, and I always had this idea for a Unibums thing, way back when, of one of the ideas. I'll probably still use it, probably down the track with, like, I don't know, something with Unibums, but it's when Jenny is actually her parents come to visit her for the first time and she's sort of wants the guys to not be them, and so they decided to dress in drag to be a girl's house sort of thing, and I always had the idea of at the end they do the ending for First Wives Club, because I always see it as that. Like, you got Jenny as Diane Keaton's character because she's the one with glasses, and Sydney, who's me, would be the Goldie Hawn character. So, and then we start singing "You Don't Know Me." Yeah, such a great ending to that, and yeah, and yeah, she will be missed. My wife sat down to watch Because I Said So, because she does like that movie, and she's in it as the mum, overbearing mum. And yeah, and also watch First Wives Club. And she also said she wants me to find somewhere, probably on DVD, Something's Gotta Give, which she's also in with Jack Nicholson. So
that's a good movie.
Yeah. Because we were talking about Jack Nicholson because we watched One Who Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Haha, everything's connected. Yeah. So
Everything's connected.
Everything's connected. Sad. Yeah, the wrong 79-year-old died.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Don't be political, Michael. I won't.
Okay, well, to get away from that and the sad feelings, we're gonna move on into some happy and cool news that we have for the rest of the show. Starting with the fact that this weekend it was New York Comic Con, in the Big Apple. It's Comic Con's lesser, smaller sibling. But hey, there was still some really cool stuff. Starting with some Marvel news. Basically, Marvel did this massive TV related panel and kind of unveiled like nothing that we didn't know was coming, but we got a bunch of release dates for things and and confirmations on certain things and some footage. There was a bunch of footage shown in the room that hasn't been made public yet. In fact, the only thing that they've shown is a trailer for a certain thing that we'll be talking about soon. But I thought I'd kick it off by just mentioning the two animated shows that Marvel have got in the works at the moment. The first being X-Men 97. Season 2 now has a release window, which is exciting. It's going to be summer 2026, so that's winter 2026 for us here in Australia.
Winter is coming.
So winter is coming. So yeah, like 9 months to wait, maybe less, until we get to return to the mansion and catch up with them. And they showed a bit of footage of that in the room, and there was a bit of apocalypse shown, because I'm pretty sure season 1 ended with an apocalypse tease, if I'm not mistaken. Am I remembering that right?
Yeah, the team falls into a time thing, and they go back in time to ancient Egypt.
Yes, that's right. Yes, so we're continuing that. Yes, so that'll be coming out next year. And then the other animated show, they gave a look in the room of season 2 of Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. our new favorite Spider-Man show. It's okay. They revealed that Daredevil will be returning in that show. Charlie Cox is going to play Daredevil in animated form once again.
Oh.
And then also, with no surprises to anyone, they very much teased that Venom will be making his entrance into the show. And if you saw season 1 like we did, you know that that's pretty much a given.
Venom.
Yes, so that one's going to be coming out after, I think, if I'm reading this correctly, because American seasons confuse me. Fall 2026, which should be spring for us. So this time next year, we'll be getting Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man season 2. But before then, we've got some live action stuff, starting with Wonder Man. We're going to talk about the trailer for that soon, but we got a release date for that. It's an 8-episode miniseries. It's going to drop on Disney Plus on the 27th of January, which is really cool. They haven't said if it's going to be all 8 episodes at once, like they've kind of started to get into the habit of doing, or if it's just going to be week to week, but we'll find out probably closer to. But yeah, I'm really excited to watch that, and I'm not going to say anything else because I have thoughts on the trailer that I'm saving. So the next thing to get excited about is Daredevil Born Again. Season 2 will be dropping. Born Again. It's coming out in March next year, which is really great. And confirmed, of course, Jessica Jones is going to be in it. So very happy. Very happy about that. They showed a trailer in the room that apparently opens with Matt and Karen Page having a romantic domestic life until Matt's senses are overwhelmed by something explosive. Soon we see missing person posters for Matt. missing person posters for Matt Murdock being put up around town, and then Matt wanders the streets of New York until Jessica Jones comes to his aid. So, okay. Interesting. Wilson Fisk is also returning. And then there's also Foggy Nelson? ? And Bullseye. Vanessa's in there too. So everyone's kind of coming back for this. I'm really excited about Daredevil Born Again Season 2 because at least this time it should be, in theory, a cohesive story. But we'll find out. I just can't wait to see Jessica Jones again because hell yes, Jessica Jones. And then lastly, Vision Quest. We got an update on Vision Quest. And it's kind of being billed as sort of the end of the trilogy of the WandaVision story. So you've got WandaVision, Agatha all along, and then Vision Quest. They showed some footage in the room for this as well, which basically shows White Vision in human guise entering a mansion where he's met by servants who turn out to be AI characters previously seen in the MCU in human form. There's James Darcy reprising his role as Jarvis. Golf clap for that. And then he's joined by human incarnations of Friday, who was Jarvis's replacement, and Edith, the AI program from Tony Stark's Sunglasses and Spider-Man Far From Home. So Jennifer Connelly should be making a live-action appearance here because she was the voice of Edith for those playing at home, and also Paul Bettany's wife. But this is the thing that I'm most interested in with this show, and I think this was something that was already announced. James Spader is going to be reprising his role as Ultron in this, and they showed him in the footage. But he's got a beard and he looks like James Spader, so they're all in their human forms for some reason. I'm sure that will be explained and whatnot, but yes. Basically, Ultron then reveals to Vision Tommy Maximoff, his son, who is portrayed by, I'm going to butcher the pronunciation, I'm apologizing, Ruarid? That's wrong. Mollica is the actor's name, so forgive me. so he's playing Tommy Maximoff. And of course, we know from Agatha all along, you know, Tommy Maximoff is somewhere out there. Maybe Billy will show up. I don't know. They didn't mention Billy at all, really. So
That'll
yeah.
be a surprise.
Yeah, there'll be something. There'll be something. But yeah, I'm keen for all of this. Of course, sign me up. I'm already signed up. What do I mean? Yeah, can't wait. Fulya. There's a lot of Marvel stuff to unpack here. How are you feeling about it?
There's a couple of things in here that I haven't gotten around to, so I'm probably going to skip those for now. However, I am very excited for season 2 of Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. I really enjoyed the first season. It was actually good fun, so really looking forward to that. I'm also extremely excited for season 2 of X-Men 97. I wasn't sure when that was going to happen, so really looking forward to seeing everybody come back. Oh well, I don't know if everyone's going to be there anymore because Gambit's like not there.
Exploding.
He sacrificed himself. Yeah, we shall see how that all goes. I am really looking forward to it. I really loved the first season, and then went back and watched the whole original series. So I fell in love with the show. So yeah, very excited for that. Vision Quest, I'm also looking forward to. And yeah, it's reading about the whole thing being like a trilogy, kind of a story coming together. It fascinated me in a sense that I didn't even think that that's how they connected it all together. Like I thought they were their own things, but apparently they relate, which I suppose kind of makes sense. So yeah, they I'm wondering how it's all gonna come together by the final episode of Vision Quest, in terms of revealing things that happened in WandaVision and then things that happened in Agatha all along, like in Vision Quest, how they're gonna all come together by the end of it. So that'll be really cool to see. So yeah, like I said, very much looking forward to that. And we're gonna be talking about Wonder Man trailer soon, but yeah, I think they're the ones that I'm really excited about. So yeah, I'll leave it at that.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Mike, are you hyped
Yes.
for any of this news? Sounds pretty good.
Yes, I'm very excited for all the animated stuff. I really enjoyed the Spider-Man and the sort of Elseworlds sort of take, as well as being like a quasi origin story for the Spider-Man that's Tom Holland. Because we don't see Tom Holland getting bit by a spider. So there's sort of the connective tissue of what if. And considering it's a TV show, they can do more of the Spider-Man stuff without Sony going, "Oh, you can't do that." It's not a movie, so tough tits. Yep, I'm really excited for X-Men 97, X-Men 98. It should be because it's the next year. And the continued story of that, and I just love it because it's a bit of nostalgia as well as updated stuff for the adult version of me. So that's great. Wonder Man, of course, we're going to talk about that later. Vision Quest. I love the fact that they that this is a trilogy. It's the Maximoff trilogy, and having because they've been all great, and Agatha all along was phenomenal, and I really enjoyed that, and so not not a lot. Don't put too much pressure on it. So
Yeah.
but we're going to see the kids, and it's going to be a big family affair. And I don't know if Wanda's going to come back. I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know.
I don't know if Elizabeth Olsen wants to come back. Who knows?
Who knows?
But exciting to see like all the AI people to come together and be human, human, or maybe it's the grid, maybe it's Tron. They're going to implement Tron, and it's
Tron Vision Quest.
Tron Vision Quest. Does that mean I need to watch Agent Carter, because I haven't seen that? Considering we get a different Jarvis.
I mean, you should watch Agent Carter anyway, because it's a good show. I mean, it's old school Marvel TV now. It's not really the new stuff, but it's still really good. You probably won't need to watch it for this, like, because in Endgame we had James Darcy playing Jarvis there, and you understood, right, like who he was and where he was from. Oh, you didn't? Okay, yep, sweet.
Who did Never seen it before in my life.
Yeah, but no, you should be. Yeah, I don't think I don't think they're going to do anything to make Agent Carter required viewing from now onward. So
That's
but
good.
yeah, it's a good show.
But I'll probably have to watch the second season. Actually, there's 3 seasons of Jessica Jones, isn't there?
I think so. I never watched.
Yeah.
If they made the third, I never watched it.
Either way, I need to finish Jessica Jones.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that.
Seeing where she is, because I'm excited that they're getting the team back together. Yeah, so there is 3. So there's 2 seasons I need to watch.
There is,
as well as the others, including Iron Fist, because he's going to come back too, because it's all connected. Anyway, but excited that Jessica Jones is coming back in the Daredevil, and yeah, I hopefully you said it right. Hopefully more conclusive, connected, whatever you said, instead of having the first episode and the last episode of the previous season the best that's ever been, and that was all the rewrites.
Yeah.
And reshoots.
Yeah.
Foggy coming back, flashback. I hope, because
Yeah, I don't know.
then that means death doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
And Foggy's human, so please. That means everyone can come back. Not after the factory reset, after the Battlefront, the 6th Avengers movie, whatever it's called.
Secret Wars.
Yes, there's 6 of them, right? Or going to be something like that.
Yeah, that'll be the 6th Avengers film. Yes.
Yeah. People are speculating there's a secret 3rd new Avenger movie that's going to take place in between both, but I don't think so. Otherwise, it's a good Marvel panel. I was actually quite chuffed at the thing. I'm a little bit excited about Marvel shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's mostly Daredevil.
Yeah.
I just want to see a head being crushed again, because that grossed me out. It's a required viewing, Fulya. You should watch it.
Yeah.
Because, it's Marvel.
Yep. Okay. Next bit in the news. So more New York Comic Con stuff. We're switching over to Invincible now, because they dropped a teaser trailer for season 4, as well as telling us when season 4 is coming out, which will be in March next year, which is very exciting. The teaser trailer was interesting because it was very meta, and I wasn't really expecting it to be that meta. But it was funny. Like, it was really funny watching Eve list off everything that she does or has been doing, and then, you know, she mentions voice acting, and then they cut to a shot of Gillian Jacobs in the recording booth doing her voice. I thought that was pretty funny. But yeah, so it doesn't really show you anything of what's to come. It's just, you know, the two of them having a conversation and talking about how Mark, you know, has trouble winning fights, which I thought was a little bit funny. Yeah, so yeah, and then the other thing I guess they announced was that Lee Pace, who we know from Guardians of the Galaxy and the Hobbit trilogy, he's going to be playing a character called Thrag. So apparently this character is kind of a big deal. So I'm just going to quickly talk about who he is. Where is Thrag? Is the Grand Regent of the Viltrum Empire, making him the secret mastermind pulling the strings of characters like Omni-Man, Anissa, and Conquest. Thrag rules Viltrum with an iron fist. In this cutthroat society, might makes right, and no one has more might than Thrag. He's one of the few survivors of the devastating Viltrumite civil war, and he's devoted to rebuilding their civilization's power after that brush with extinction. So basically, Mark's fucked.
What's
Because
new?
now, what's new? Because basically, the worst of the Viltrumites is coming for him.
I thought that was Conquest.
Yeah, no, Conquest is not the worst of them. Jesus Christ. But yeah, no, Lee Pace is great casting. He's got such an epic voice, you know, as we saw him as Ronan the Executioner in Guardians, if you guys remember.
He was blue.
He's just, yeah, he was blue. He's a Kree.
Double D, double A.
Yes. Yeah, so yeah, perfect voice casting, and we know he can play villains too, so that's just, yeah, excellent. So I'm excited to watch like a proper trailer and get an idea of what season 4 is going to entail, and maybe hear a bit of Thrag, see a bit of Thrag, or what will they save for the actual show? I don't know, but yeah, I loved season 3. Season 3 was great. Definite improvement on season 2, and yeah, I can't wait for where they're going with this. So it's very exciting. Mike, tell us your Invincible season 4 thoughts. I can't say that really fast. Invincible season 4 thoughts, please. And
Can't wait. I really enjoy it. I got my hands on the comic book, and I'm not sure if I should spoil myself. I don't know. Who knows? I do like these sort of teasers because it is fourth wall breaky as well as fun to watch. The previous ones that they've done that are more meta-y, the previous ones were Invisible and Cecil talking about season 3, and the one before that was Seth Rogen's character, which is even more meta
the
because
one-eyed
he was
alien
producer.
Yeah. Okay, I didn't realize this is a thing. That's my bad. I didn't realize
That's
they'd been
alright.
doing this.
It's yeah, so that's a bit of fun because because I did like the Seth Rogen one because he is producer and there. So it's like, well, animation takes a long time, and yeah, so can't wait. Yeah. So I think they got their stride now that they're not going to be dumping like the first half and then the second half.
Yeah.
I think they're doing it properly now. So doing their 3-episode thing as Paramount, no, Prime usually does, and then weekly stuff. So just that's why I like and enjoy. So yeah, I'm in an R-ing if I should spoil myself. I think I should. It's not one
Should
for
you?
one exact, but
Right.
yeah. Then I can go, oh god, just wait, Kendall. You can't wait.
Oh.
I don't know, maybe because my algorithm's annoying. That it spoils me stuff, especially if something's happening this week. And yeah, maybe I should. I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
There it is. He's made the decision.
I made a decision. I'm going to spoil myself. Like I spoiled myself for the Mighty Nine. Oh, that doesn't work yet. That segue doesn't work yet.
No, it doesn't work just yet. Yes, maybe later. All right. Moving on to our next bit of news. Keeping it still at New York Comic Con. There was a panel for the upcoming Mortal Kombat 2 movie that there's been a couple of trailers dropped for. We've discussed them recently as well. We're all pretty hyped for this movie to come out. The great thing about New York Comic Con is that not only did they talk about what to expect in the sequel with Carl Urban getting to be just excellent on stage. They're working on a third film.
What?
Oh, what? Yes. Jeremy Slater, who is the writer of maybe the first film, but definitely the second one, confirmed that there's going to be a third. He basically just said, our friends at New Line and Warner Brothers are so happy with this movie. They are so excited. They are so convinced that there is a giant fan base waiting for it. They've already hired me to start writing the next installment. The hype train is real. And then speaking of hype trains, they basically kind of addressed as well why it got pushed back. So Mortal Kombat 2 was supposed to come out like now, but they decided to move it to May next year. And they've basically said that it was a victim of its own success because of all the test screenings they've been doing, and then of course the trailers that dropped. They believe that they've created a massive summer blockbuster. This is the quote from the director Simon McCoy. We should be proud of the fact that Mortal Kombat as the movie and the franchise is just going to kick off summer next year. Yes, we have to wait, but it's going to feel massive. That's the reason. So basically, they just moved it to kind of put it in a better slot they think it's worthy of. And I'm like, that's cool. Why not? The first one came out like March, April, I think, of 2020, wasn't it? Was it 2020? No, 2021. It's 2021. Yeah. It was one of like the first movies. Not the first movies, but like it felt like it was a COVID film. Like it just felt going to the movies was rare back then. So seeing Mortal Kombat was great. But yeah, super exciting to see that they're excited for their movie, and yeah, now we're getting a third one. So bring it on. Fulya, what do you make of this news? Are you excited that there's going to be a third Mortal Kombat?
Let me get to number 2. I didn't know what the hell's going on in number 2 before I get excited for number 3.
Touche.
But apparently they just after the first movie they think, yep, this is probably going to be amazing stuff. So we are just going to keep on going. Everybody's hyped for the first one, for the second one. So why not go for the third as well? So I'm like, okay, well, sure. Fine, if that's what you want to do. I'm looking forward to it. I really enjoyed the first movie, as gory as it was. Yeah, you're muted.
You watch it behind your eyes and your
Or
hands.
there were moments where I was covering my eyes in certain scenes, and I'm just like, or there were points where I knew what was coming, so I'd look away or closed my eyes before it happened, and then I'd hear the sound effect, and I'd be like, "Yep, it's done. All right, moving on."
I heard the squish.
Yep, I heard the squish. I heard the slice. I heard the slice or the stabbies.
I heard the body part fall to the ground.
Yep. But yeah, look, more power to them. If they're really that confident that Model 2 is going to do really well, then number 3 is going to. I have a feeling the only reason why they probably announced that there's going to be a number 3 is because there's probably going to be some connective tissue from after
that too.
once number 2 is finished. So like, okay, all right. So
Cliffhanger.
yeah, I'm hoping they just leave it as a trilogy and then that's it. No more. That's enough. We're done.
Oh, come on.
Just bring out the games. People want to play the games. Don't worry about the movies. Movies are
Yeah.
great, but we need more games.
Warner Brother needs a win.
Oh, look, they got a win from DC, no?
That's just one subsection. They need all of it.
All right, well then you tell us how you feel about
Yes.
Mortal Kombat 3.
Quite surprised that they're releasing that information, before the second one comes out. But yeah, I think it's just a string of confidence when it comes to this, and it's one more than the previous iterations of the live actions. And if you haven't seen them, oh boy, yeah. So I can't wait for this. My wife is more excited than I, because she's a big fan of Mortal Kombat. And yeah, she really enjoys the first film. And she hates the fact that I like critiquing film. It's like, can you just like films? It's like, I do like them. I just, I like to critique.
Okay, well, this is definitely one of those turn your brain off kind of movies.
Yeah. But it's great.
Yeah. And I just love the fact that it's filmed in Australia. So therefore, it's in a way an Australian film. So meh. If New Zealand can claim the Lord of the Rings and Hobbits, we can claim all the others. We are the home of the Mortal Kombat. We are the home of the live action Scooby-Doo films. And
Thor.
And Thor.
Yeah.
They were filmed here in Australia.
Yeah,
they were.
Ragnarok and Love and Thunder were filmed in Queensland.
Mm-hmm.
Ah.
Yeah.
Ah, there you go. I was thinking Dark World, and that was in England. England. Shang-Chi was solely like an Australian thing.
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah.
I'm also watching Marvel Zombies as well. I am so happy that Shang-Chi is actually in more stuff outside of his movies, because he's only have one. But when's the next Shang-Chi? He's too busy doing other stuff. Yeah, so when is this movie coming out, Kendall?
We don't know. We don't know yet, but it will be coming. Okay, we've got one more thing in the news to talk about. And speaking of sequels and speaking of movies being announced, here comes the biggest no-brainer in movie history. A Minecraft movie is getting a sequel. I'm so shocked, and I can't believe this. Really, Yeah. Minecraft
Wow,
2 's-
shocker.
Minecraft 2, yes. Minecraft 2 is happening. Yeah. But hilariously, which I didn't realize at the time, it's coming out on the same day as the Simpsons movie too. So, yeah. I know what I'm seeing on July 23rd, 2027.
Let the best movie win.
Yeah. This is gonna be okay. What's the mashup called? What's it called? I mean, you can't say a Simpsons movie too because that's basically the title of the other one. Simpcraft or Minesons. I don't know. It doesn't work, does it? Or a Steve Simpson. There you go. I don't know. Anyway, the straws are being grasped right now. But yeah. Anyway, so the first Minecraft movie made nearly $1 billion. I'm surprised it didn't make $1 billion, to be honest. It was very close. It was like only like 30 million off, 40 million off from making a total billion. It was massive. That being said, it wasn't exactly a critical success, as Fulya can attest to, having watched the worst version of the film possible on streaming services.
Surely you
Yes.
can claim that was a little bit of your fault.
Look. Look. Hey, DD, all right, leave me alone.
Yes, just blame it on the mental health.
Yes, I'm blaming my brain
It's
for not paying
fine.
attention, all right?
Fine. Absolutely fine. Yes. Anyway, they haven't said what the sequel is going to be about. They haven't confirmed really anything other than the release date. But basically, they have said that Jared Hess is going to direct again, so the same director is coming back, and he will also be co-writing the script with Chris Galletta. They're expecting to announce that the cast will return: Jack Black, Jason Momoa, Daniel Brooks, Emma Myers, and the kid whose name I don't know because I haven't seen him before. But yes, they're expected to all come back. So we'll probably see an announcement on that soon. But yeah, I'm sure a lot of people are really happy about this news. As long as they don't do Chicken Jockey 2.0, which I'm bloody sure they are going to do Chicken Jockey 2.0, and the cinemas will fall apart again. Yeah, whatever. It's happening. I'm just going to get out of the way of it. Fulya, what do you think about a Minecraft movie 2 happening?
Oh, one was enough. Holy crap. I don't need another one.
Yeah.
Look, honestly, I reckon 50% of the profits were from people who were just curious to know why they made this movie.
Yeah, I think so.
And yeah, I like, aside from the version that I watched, it was an okay film if we removed the things that I ended up seeing. It was
Which
okay.
the movie.
No, the things they added in that edition that I watched, aside from that, it was an okay movie. But this is just this is just the filmmakers just wanting to make more money. This is just money for the kids mostly. The children must have really enjoyed it, so they've got to make another one. But yeah, look, whatever. I'm probably not going to watch this one. I don't think that I will. Even if it does come to streaming service, I'm just going to be like, no. One was more than enough for me. Moving on.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I'm really glad to hear all of that for you. That's excellent. Mike, what about you? Are you interested at all in seeing a second Minecraft movie?
I'm not interested, but I do have children, and they enjoyed it. I mean, thank goodness they've only watched it twice, and both times I wanted to watch it.
Only twice.
Yeah. So, and also it was filmed in New Zealand, so they can claim it for themselves. And yeah, as a person who does play Minecraft like regularly, they will probably they'll probably defeat the dragon. That's at the end, but who knows if they're going to make this into a trilogy or a quadrilogy or a pen trilogy. But who knows? Cool. But yeah, another Warner Brothers thing. So they need more money. Zaslav needs more money because people have worked out what he's doing. He was trying to dismantle Warner Brothers and just sell it off for parts. And yeah. Unfortunately, I will be watching it. So when is that release date?
So,
The Simpsons movie.
yeah, we will all be watching The Simpsons movie 2 on July 23rd, 2027.
Not if it's M rated. Because if it's PG, I could probably take the kids to watch The Simpsons movie.
Mm-hmm.
Especially the little one.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'll be going next door for the Minecraft movie too.
Let's pray for Mike. Pray for Mike. Start a prayer circle, everyone. Just
Thoughts and prayers.
thoughts and prayers. All right, that's the nerdy news, guys. We're done with that, which means at last we can roll on up to the trailer park.
Rolling up to the trailer park where we all park all the trailers. Yeah.
Okay, trailer park time. Our first trailer. Of course, we've teased it already. This is our first look at Wonder Man, which looks like it's shaping up to be the most unique Marvel show ever. Yeah. I'm excited for this a lot. Because it looks like it's maybe gonna have some meta commentary in here. Like the poster for this movie series, is like a desk with a bunch of like scripts and magazines on it, and there's like a copy of the Hollywood Reporter, and then it says Hollywood experiencing superhero fatigue. Is it time to hang up the capes? So very interesting. Yeah, very interesting. And of course we have the return of the iconic Trevor Slattery, played by Sir Ben Kingsley, who we haven't seen since, speaking of Shang-Chi, have not seen him since then, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Also speaking of Shang-Chi, this is directed, created by Destin Daniel Cretton. So he's bringing this to us. He was the director of Shang-Chi as well. And I'm pretty sure he's going to be directing Doomsday or something. I can't. He was supposed to be directing some. Oh no, he's directing Spider-Man, I think. Hang on, let me confirm that. There was something. I swear he was working on something. Anyway, I'm getting my Marvel shit all mixed up.
He's doing the next Shang-Chi movie.
Yes, that I knew. But he was doing something else. I think he was originally doing Avengers when it was Kang Dynasty.
Spider-Man Brand New Day.
He is? It's not on his IMDb.
I'm seeing it on his IMDb.
Where?
Under director.
Oh, fucking! I was on producer. It auto went to producer instead of director. I don't like this new layer IMDb.
Yeah,
stuff.
I don't know.
It's frustrating. Yes, I was right. Okay, I might.
You were. Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, Spider-Man Brand New Day. He's currently making that. Anyway, back to Wonder Man.
Yes.
Yes. No, this looks great. I really like Yahya Abdul Mateen II. He's very good. He was great as Black Mamba in Aquaman. And yeah, he was good in Watchmen as well. And I can't wait to see what he does with this role. You know, Simon Williams is a comic book character, is an actor, also a superhero. So there's no mention of like him actually having any powers or abilities or any kind of costume or whatever he does, whether or not he's just playing a character or like I don't know. Like I know nothing about this character, so I'm completely talking out of my ass right now. But I love, just based on this like trailer, the concept of this alone, about him being this struggling actor trying to get work, and then they there's some commentary about a reboot of a franchise, you know, that was once big, and it's being spearheaded by the by the actor who championed the character originally, you know, Robert Downey Jr. Anyone. So yeah, they're having a lot of fun clearly with it. And I'm really interested and really curious. So yeah, I kind of want another trailer, but I also kind of don't. I would happily go in blind on this if I could, but you know, I produce a podcast that talks about Marvel things, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to avoid another trailer, but that's fine. I'm not going to have any willpower to just not include a trailer from a Marvel
We could
thing.
just
no,
pretend
nope,
it doesn't exist.
nope,
If you want to go in
Nope.
blind.
nope. I literally just said I don't have the willpower for it. Okay? It doesn't exist. My
Damn it,
autism is
Kendall.
the autism is too strong. Okay, it's too strong. I can't wait to watch this. Fulya, what did you think of this trailer for Wonder Man?
I was very confused watching this trailer. I wasn't sure what to expect. I was half expecting it to have something to do with an actual superhero, but then we come in and, you know, oh my gosh, there's a film. This guy needs to be in it. So he's calling up his agent so that he can get an audition spot. And Trevor Slattery pops up, and I'm like, what's he doing here? What's going on? So I am mucho confused about what's going on here. Why are we going meta and going into the whole Hollywood side of things? I don't understand. Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch it for the show, for the podcast, so I'm not gonna have a choice. But I'm not sure if I'm looking forward to it or not. I'm just so like I don't know how to feel.
You can always skip it.
You really think Kendall's gonna let us?
Look. The only reason we haven't talked about Marvel Zombies yet is because A, I haven't had a chance to watch it, and B, Fulya's kind of expressed a desire that she doesn't want to watch it. So, but that's because there's violence and blood and guts and blah, 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 blah. This is not that.
No, it's not. It's not. I'm not saying that I don't want to watch it. I
know. I'm playing. I'm playing into the bit.
I am mildly curious to see where this goes. So I'm just very confused right now.
Yeah, absolutely fair. Absolutely fair. I'm not surprised in the slightest.
Yeah. So, I'm glad it's just a mini series and it's not going to go on forever. So it's just like this one and done, 8 episodes, boom.
Yeah.
Well, at least I hope it's a one and done. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Maybe he'll pop up in Secret Wars. I don't know. I don't know. I think Marvel is. I feel like Marvel is just maybe going to do just one and dones after all this shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say
they need to stop.
If you don't mind me just tangenting a little bit here,
go for it.
I am slowly getting a little Marvel fatigue myself. I think that is probably the main reason why I haven't gone out of my way to watch everything that's come out and things that have been rebooted on Disney Plus. And I think it's just getting to a point where it's like it's too much to keep up with. And there's only so much time in my day to watch stuff and then Marvel is just so much of it that honestly, if I hadn't have started watching it, like the Marvel universe when it began, I probably would not be able to catch up because that's how much content there is from the MCU and that everything is connected in some way. So I'm glad that they're only doing mini series for this show. I hope they continue going down that path because I feel like there's going to be a lot of people out there who are kind of in the same boat as me. A lot of people that I have spoken to have had superhero fatigue for so long that they've dropped off after a certain point and they haven't gotten back on board. And I kind of don't blame them. I understand. I'm slowly getting to that point myself. However, I'm at least still enjoying most of it. So that's kind of where I'm at right now with Marvel.
No, that's fair.
Yeah.
You're very fair. It's Me 5 years ago would have walked off the show if she'd heard words like that. But nope.
I'm so glad of your growth.
Yeah. You know, that is growth. Okay. Thank you, Fulya, for your honest thoughts as always. I do appreciate them very much. Mike, I'm curious to hear what you make of this as an actor yourself. What do you reckon of the Wonder Man trailer?
It was out of left field of the feel of it, and yes, it doesn't feel like any other Marvel property, but that's a good thing. But it also made me think maybe this is a misdirect, and it's an illusion maybe that stuff's not what it seems. Yeah, I don't know. I have a funny feeling about it, but I don't know. Maybe I don't need another trailer. But there's bound to be another one. Yeah, I don't know what to make of it because I am in the fatigue of it, and yeah, like this wasn't really touched upon with anything. I mean, this is like the same thing as Armor Wars as well. We know something is rumbling, but we don't know where, we don't know when. But they're slowly drip feeding us this new stuff, and quite rightly so, they're slowing down on the sort of output when it comes to their TV shows. And I think after the movies are all done, like all the Avenger stuff, they need to rework something, because I think this is going to be the last gasp, basically. And then a lot of people saying, okay, I'm done, no more. Even if I go back to it every so often, but I don't know if I'm going to watch like everything after this. So yeah, if people want to watch it. I mean, there's a lot of stuff to watch. There is, and I'm trying to catch up with that sort of thing. I mean, I'm still wanting to watch my One Piece. I miss my One Piece. See, I miss my One Piece. I want my One Piece. And maybe Firefly, but I don't know. So when is this coming out, Kendall?
Yes, Wonder Man will begin streaming on Disney Plus on the 27th of January. Next year, yes. Speaking of things coming out next year, our second trailer is the second in the line of Game of Thrones spin-offs. This is Night of the Seven Kingdoms. This is based on a novella or several novellas that George R. R. Martin has published in conjunction with his Westeros series, The Song of Ice and Fire. And he's involved with the show as well, just like he's been with House of the Dragon, and this is very different from that. And it's also set in a different time period from the original show. This is 100 years before the events of Game of Thrones. And it has a very different vibe as well. You know, it's sort of Game of Thrones take on Lone Wolf and Cub sort of thing. Like, you know, the knight and the child, and, you know, the Mandalorian and Grogu. You know, it's like that kind of, you know, Ellie and Joel sort of story. A little bit, but yeah, I'm completely charmed by this trailer. I think it looks really good. I'm definitely going to watch it because I'm a fan of this universe as far as the, you know, the visual media side of it goes. I still haven't dared to try the books. I need to get through Tolkien first before I get into George R. R. Martin. So probably one day I'll give Game of Thrones, A Song of Ice and Fire a go. But yeah, it looks really great, and, you know, it's really cool just to dive into the very rich world that he's created here, and what different kinds of characters, and you know, we kind of have this sort of underdog knight character who just has to sort of work his way up to feel like he's maybe worthy of something, and you know, find his way through the world without getting his head cut off, I guess. And there's some jousting going on here, so there's some cool action and some great armor. I loved the armor of the Targaryen dude that he wore, that had like it was molded in like sort of it was very dragon like, with like sort of spikes coming back and dipped in red and all this. It was really, really cool. So yeah, I can't really say much else other than it looks good, and I'm excited to watch it. So Fulya, I'm curious, does this interest you to come back to the Westeros world, or are you gonna still kind of stay away from this? What did you think of this trailer?
This one has me a little intrigued. I might check it out, only because there's something about this cast that screams, I don't know any of them, to me. These are all new faces. So that's at least really nice to see. And Sir Duncan the Tall. What a title. And he's a tall guy from what we see in the trailer. Very tall. And coming across this child, and I am just looking at him thinking, what's happening with this child? What, like, I'm more fascinated by the child than I am of the knight for whatever reason. And it looks like those two are gonna have a bit of an interesting relationship. And yeah, look, I might jump into this. This looks different. And it's not necessarily screaming the usual fantasy stuff that's the usual Game of Thrones story, especially like the other prequel, you know, House of the Dragon and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, this one has me very intrigued, so I might check this one out.
Nice. Nice. That makes me very excited to hear that. So that's wonderful. Very good. Mike, what did you make of the trailer for A Night of the Seven Kingdoms?
It definitely has a different vibe to Game of Thrones. I don't know. it feels like it's not going to be something fucked up happens each week sort of thing. I don't think it's going to be anything like that. But who knows? Maybe it's just like Wonder Man. Maybe it's not what it seems. maybe it's my cynical side of me. It's like, oh, maybe the kid's gonna die because I'm not gonna pass J.R. Martin doing that sort of shit.
If that's what's going to happen, even though I don't have kids, I'll probably cry.
Well, a kid dying would make someone cry. He'll be a heartless bastard if he didn't. But yeah, it made me want to rewatch Knight's Tale again, especially with all the jousting and stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think it's just going to be a more mellow version, and there's humor in it. There's a lot of humor in it, which is quite surprising because it's not. No, Game of Thrones is not really known for its humor. Yeah, it's sort of a different vibe. I think I might watch it just for a different taste because I do like House of the Dragon and where that's going, and it brought me back to Westeros, which is whatever the place is. I haven't read the books either. I have to go through all my Invincible comics now, so as well as One Piece, and because I like pictures with my books. I've never really grown up. Anyway, so when is this coming out, Kendall?
Yes, well, A Night of the Seven Kingdoms will also be airing in January next year, 19th of January here in Australia on HBO Max. It will begin. Right. Final trailer now. And I'm very excited to talk about it. And this is, of course, the our first kind of proper trailer for The Mighty Nine. Yes, very, very excited. This came out of New York Comic Con as well, I believe. And yeah, it was like different to the previous little trailer that we got, which was very much a you know, sort of a fun kind of gimmicky one where they're all being interviewed, you know, and there's one member of the team that we don't actually see, and it was all a bit funny. But no, this one is very much straight up your standard sort of trailer, just showing off the new members of the party that we're going to have to familiarize ourselves with, and you know, it's fun. I feel like I'm getting sort of a glimpse of what it's like to watch Critical Role. I don't know, Mike will attest to this, but just like in terms of hearing the same voices do different characters, because like I recognized a bunch of voices in this trailer that as I'm watching it, and just going, oh, that's you know, and it's just really exciting. And then they've got like a whole bunch of really cool actors coming in to do guest voices as well this season, and there's a whole list of names that just kind of splashed across the screen at the end of this trailer, and I was like, oh my god, I wasn't ready. But yeah, so that's kind of cool to see. But yeah, it looks fun, it looks great. I'm really keen to go back into this world and you know, meet some new characters, and yeah, I don't know what happens, but I feel like, you know, if it's anything like Legend of Vox Machina, I'm going to be in for some feels. So and some fun times. So I'm excited. Someone who's probably not excited is Fulya. What did you think though of this? I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of violence in this trailer, really. But I'm curious what you thought of the Mighty Nine.
The animation style is giving me very much the Avatar Last Airbender vibes, like just in terms of the way that it looks.
Same art house.
Well, that makes sense then. Yeah, look, I haven't watched Legend of Vox Machina. I have no idea about Critical Role. I just hear it through you guys and anyone else who's been watching them. So I have no idea what's going on. I just assume this is kind of like a D&D story. And they've just brought it to life in animation form, which is pretty cool. I don't know that I'll be watching it. Not necessarily because of what's been shown in the trailer, but I don't know if the story is really grabbing me. I don't know. I might check it out if I feel like I want something a little bit different. But it's also adult animation, so there's going to be a lot of swearing as well. Not that I don't really care about that. No, I'm not against that. It's fine. I'm just not usually the type of person to go out of my way to watch adult animation in general. It looks cool. That's all I'm going to say. And I like the lineup of like the special guest cast members that they've got coming on potentially, like Ming-Na Wen, Mark Strong, Alan Cumming, Tim McGraw. That's pretty cool. So, yeah, look.
Lucy Liu.
Yeah. Yeah, the character design looks really awesome. I love the look of the characters as well. I don't know, like I'm on the fence. We'll see.
Fair.
Yeah.
I'll take a fence sitter over a naysayer. So thank you. Thank you very much.
Of all of the adult animated shows, this would probably draw me in more than the Invincible.
Right.
That, you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So Fully is going to watch the first episode of Mighty Nine, and then we'll see what happens.
But it'll be a multi episode drop, so
It
you're
is.
gonna have to watch all of them.
No, I don't have to watch all of them.
Yes, you do.
God damn it, you do.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Mike, I know you're hyped for this, just as I am. But what did you make of this trailer? How did it work for you?
Yeah. As someone who's been listening to to the campaign, because there's no real visual elements, like except for them sitting at a table and rolling dice and doing their game. I'm fascinated of trying to pinpoint. I was like, oh, where's that bit? Am I up to that bit? I think I am, because I'm probably way past where the first season's going to be, or they're probably going to do the entire campaign in the first season, which is going to be bizarre. I think that there's probably going to be probably multiple seasons of this. I think they can probably do it, because each episode is going to be an hour long. So prepare for that, Fulya. You're going to watch an hour of this animation. You will, and I think they're probably going to be done in three seasons, maybe. I have that sneaky suspicion if they're going to do that. A lot of big names in the cast for guest speaker roles, and also here's another plus for you. Nathan Fillion's going to be in it.
Come on.
Give
Come on.
Give me.
You've thrown that line. I don't know. The bait. It looks good.
He's a rookie. Is his name Rookie?
Amazing.
He plays a cop named Rookie. Yeah. Yeah, I can't wait for this. And I might be on the cusp of actually finishing the entire thing when it comes out. Which will be, Kendall?
Which will be, yes. It's going to be dropping on Amazon Prime Video, the first 3 episodes on the 19th of November. And then it's week to week after that until we hit our episode 8 finale, which is going to be a lovely Christmas present for us. It's dropping on Christmas Eve, so right up until the end of the year almost with this one.
Nice.
So very exciting. I can't wait.
A 3-hour adventure.
Yeah.
Which you will be watching it in full, Fulya. 3 hours. Set some time apart. You can do it. I can trust you.
We believe.
Basically, it's one
you.
campaign. Basically, it's one episode of the actual game. 3 hours. It's fine.
Yeah. It's fine. Look at her, bloody sitting there, her arms are crossed.
Ooh,
She's just slowly nodding her head, like,
Here's a tidbit. One of the characters, played by Matricia Ray. In the first one, Mighty Nine, she plays a character that's very much based on Aang from Airbender.
Yes, for sure.
And in this one, she's based her character on Kia. Oh, sorry. What's Kia, the last Ender?
Korra.
Kiri. So many names. Yeah, so she's based her character in the Mighty Nine after Korra. So
that's cool. I like that.
That's another thing to watch this show because it's got Korra in it.
Yeah.
She plays Bo.
Oh, okay. Yes, I know about Bo vaguely.
Oh, you will.
Oh, I will.
By Christmas, you will. And I think she might be your favorite character.
Oh, high expectation.
Yeah.
This is exciting. All right.
Actually, no. I think it'll probably be Jester. Jester's everyone's favorite.
the chaotic blue imp character, is that Jester? The one with the funny voice?
Yes. Tiefling.
Yes, Tiefling. I like Tieflings.
She has horns and a tail.
Yeah.
And she's an agent of chaos.
Yes, we love to see it.
And she loves baked goods.
Okay, we're done. Trailer park done. Yes. Yes, we are rolling on out. And no, because we've got one more thing we need to do.
Oh, what's that?
Because it's time.
Oh.
For the moment.
Yes.
The section, the segment, the part, the place, the thing, the murders in the building we like to call.
Only popcorn in the culture.
Only popcorn.
Only popcorn.
Only popcorn. Okay. Yes. All right, we are here to talk about the latest episode of Early Murders in the Building, which is season 5, episode 7, Silver Alert. Things are definitely proceeding here. My initial thoughts of this one was pretty funny. I was laughing quite a bit, and most of that was because of Martin Short. He was on fucking fine form in this episode. I was pissing myself. Every single reaction he had to something of just being like, nope, I'm not in the business of getting killed, and nope,
I'm out.
I'm out. I'm fucking out. And that's a wrap on old Oliver. Yeah, just hysterical. Just hysterical. Everything he said. Yeah, so I really had a good time watching this. For sure. Like it was just good. But then it was, it was a good development on the story and things moving along, and we're finding out more about our billionaires. They're back this week, and getting to spend a bit more time with them and go to their Bash's mansion home in the middle of nowhere, and meet his son Algernon, who I I have so many questions about Algernon, but mostly, I'm just glad he's here. Just because, yes, because I'm watching this and I'm watching the opening credits and I'm just going, who is that creepy kid?
Yep. I was about to say.
I thought of Fulya straight away. I'm like, this seems like something Fulya won't enjoy. What's happening?
Come play with us, Danny.
Yeah. So, but we'll discuss Algernon later. Yeah, but no, it was fun, and then just, yeah, I don't know. Is Jay Flug a good guy or a bad guy? I don't know. Who knows?
Hey, he tricked
but,
us before.
he has tricked us before, and then he's tricking us again and again and again. But Camilla definitely sucks. I think Camilla's
Oh man,
she's setting herself up to be the one we really don't like. Yeah, I know. The actual worst. But yeah, it was good. I really enjoyed where we're going with this, and it's just fun. It's just a good time. And an episode pretty much entirely outside of the Arconia as well. So that's also something we don't see very often, and it's fine. It's cool. Fulya, what did you think of Silver Alert overall?
Yeah, no, this was a fun one. Like you said, mostly outside of the Arconia. And you're right. Martin Short was just all over in this episode. But I'm kind of like, I'm wondering if there's more to his fear than just the fact that he's now married. He's got more to lose, apparently. It's kind of felt like there was something else that he was hiding that he hasn't told the other two about. And he doesn't want to be in that sort of space. The kid, yes, definitely creeped me out. Just carving a whatever shiv spike stake at the front of the house outside with a giant knife. What parent lets their kid do that?
Well,
wow.
they need to learn sometime.
And yeah, the fact that we have our trio going off into the woods to this mansion where there's absolutely no reception whatsoever. That's suspect. And our billionaire trios are there playing games to settle things. But they're trying to settle things for a bigger project that they've all got in mind. So that was not so much surprising, but also just okay. There was more to it than just, oh yeah, we just wanted the trophy's cool and whatever. There's more to it, obviously. So I'm kind of glad that they pushed that bit with the billionaires saying, hey, this has got to be more than just a trophy. So yeah, like overall it was a fun episode. I really enjoyed it, and I want to smack that purse-lipped lady in the face.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
we definitely do. Thanks, Fulya. I'm glad you enjoyed this episode. Mike, did you enjoy this episode as well? What did you think?
I did. I think this is probably going to be. I think this is a staple of. They need to do at least one episode that's like outside of the building, so they can get perspective and then come back. And this is no exception. I enjoy the fact that we get to see these the characters outside of their comfort zone, especially with Oliver, and it does give you the inkling that he is hiding something, because he does hide the fact that he had an offer for his apartment. He does have his secrets, and even from the main three, even from the other two. Yeah, it's and especially after the last episode where we actually delved more into his backstory and his livelihood, it does give me pause to think, maybe something's going to happen at the end of this season about Oliver, because considering the last season, it was the relationship that that Charles had with Zaz and his sort of relationship. So and yeah, so and I did for a weird moment, I was thinking, oh yeah, Meryl Streep's going to be in all of these now, considering that her place is burnt down. Now she's sort of quasi living with Oliver. It's like, nope, she's not in this episode. So they gave her a good excuse to be out of it. And it's like, well, scheduling conflicts and all that. So still a guest character, even though she's married to the one of the main characters. So that's interesting. And our billionaires living out in the middle of nowhere. They're bunkers. They're well away from the outside world. And it does. And to play like little games, just to see who can win, is sort of a trope that I've seen before. I can't remember what the phrase is. Betting on betting on stuff, but with minor, like having a poker table sort of thing is what they were doing, and betting on cattle farms and all that. Can't remember what the phrase is, but it's a bit like that. It's like these people can kill a lot of people in their wake, and they can't even bat an eye. So yeah, some would say billionaires are bad people, even unintentionally. And with the added thing of one of them actually owning a lot of tech. And considering this week we get to see Sora 2 being released, and what happens with that, don't believe your lying eyes. 1984. And yeah, and I do enjoy a creepy child every now and again.
Yeah.
Yeah, phrasing. I get it.
Creepy child. Yeah, it's definition of creepy. That's for sure.
I have a theory.
Yeah, go.
He's a clone.
I like that theory. I'll take that theory.
Let's just move all the way into sci-fi.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
And then
Why
they
not?
can make fun of the second Jurassic World movie. Because it needs to be.
Yes, it's true. It definitely needs more roasting. That's for sure. Cool. All right. Well, let's just quickly touch on the not the opening scene of the episode, but just the beginning of the episode. The events that set this story in motion, and that is, of course, the mayor of New York coming to Arconia to be a guest on the Only Murders in the Building podcast. Yay for more Keegan-Michael Key. Very happy to see him interacting with our trio here once again. He's just... I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop with him because he's just like he feels like this kind of character that just should be annoying, but he's not. He's still somehow really likable. Um, and we kind of get to spend the most time with him this episode here, which is cool. And we find out a little bit more about him because his lovely assistant actually happens to be the niece of one Bash. Uh, he's actually kind of being held hostage a little bit because he's got tangled up financially with said billionaire, and it's not going well. So yeah, I kind of liked that as a little reveal. And I just the commentary also on his assistant Romy being this exceptionally fast moving coffee getter. um, she just like, he sent her to this address really far away, I'm assuming. And then she comes back within like 15 show minutes, but like, like 5 minutes. And then like makes that comment about like, we've got to go to the ballet. And then he's like, oh, snooze fest. And then she's like, oh, Sarah Jessica Parker's going to be there, and she's really good friends with my uncle. Now, well, I guess I'm gonna have to say bye. Yeah, he's just, oof, it's a bit rough, but no, I liked this reveal. I thought it was really well done, and I liked seeing, him having a bit more agency in terms of the plot, and then being the one to give them the information of like, well, actually, this is where Bash's house is, and he's meeting with with Jay and with Camilla, and they're going to do something there. So you could probably go and catch them out if you want. Very good. I liked this setup, this opening scene. What did you think, Fulya, of the mayor here in the opening?
Yeah, look, I'm glad that we got a little bit more with the mayor, because I've been trying to find like this. The last couple of times we got to see him, even though they weren't for very long or very brief, we didn't really get much. And from what I gathered from those, because he was so insistent on trying to get on the podcast, it felt, yes, you're right, it felt like he was supposed to be the annoying character. But then the moment we get him in this episode and he is on the actual podcast, he's actually really really cool, and he's trying to, all he wants to do is trying to gain all the likes from the people, essentially. He's trying to redeem himself as a person, as a mayor, and the fact that he's had, he knew that he wasn't going to win if he didn't have the money to back him up, and so he Bash was very helpful in that respect, and now the mayor owes him big time. And apparently it seems like it's going to the point of maybe too much of helping, and that he's just, like he said in the show, he's become the puppet of the person who's paid him off, essentially. So he's powerless and is just doing Bash's bidding. So I liked him in this episode. I love the fact that he got Romy to get out of the room, just so that he can explain the situation to the trio. It was hilarious to find out when we go back to, as we're switching between scenes, we get to the point where he's trying to draw down the blinds, and when he gets to the second one, he's like, oh crap, Romy's back already. That was quick. So yeah, that was a fun little scene to watch, and I really enjoyed seeing Keegan-Michael Key have a bit more talking time in this particular episode. So yeah, he's fun. We need more of the mayor now. We need more. More.
More, I say, more. Yes, I agree wholeheartedly. Mike, what about you? Do you want more of the mayor? Did you like what we got this episode?
More mayor. More mayo. Yeah, he's a very interesting character. And definitely enjoy the sort of turn that the character has in this. And he's not like all one note. And it's sort of the character that I like. Keegan that does of that sort of manic and 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 just basically paranoid, and you get to see the different side of this sort of supposedly well-to-do mayor, but he's he's just spilling his guts out and saying, "Okay, this is what really is happening." He's like, "Yes, I've been bought and paid for, but I don't want to. But they're very powerful people, and there's money in governments, and it shouldn't be." So, not to make it political or anything, but I think it's bad. And yeah, and I think this is all to do with the coming together of what is actually happening, and also it's also to do with the Arconian as well, which is also another character. In a way, is like finally we're sort of seeing in the end that everything is to do with like power and riches and what can happen, and the first casino and everything, and people would kill and die for it, and there's a lot more stuff that happens, and we've got 3 more episodes left. And yeah, I just really like seeing a very strong character being portrayed here. Yeah, I want to see more of the mayor, but I think this is like one of the highlights for the character. And will we get another one? I don't know. Maybe the mayor ends up dead, or maybe the mayor did it, and he wants to get out, and the only way to do that is killing people because he's a psycho. Mayor's a psycho. Did you know that?
Okay, this isn't Wilson Fisk.
Yeah, it is. I want to see heads being squished. Then I want to hear the squish. I like hearing the squish.
We like the squish.
We like squish.
We like squish.
You
Okay.
like squish, Fulya? Squish. Mayor's squish.
No squish. Okay. All right. Moving on. So yes. So we now, after you get to see the trio head off to Bash's mansion, and yeah, I mean it's not long before they're discovered, thanks to Oliver. Just fantastic. But you know, I'm kind of glad they didn't. It wasn't like a, because I'm sitting here wondering the whole time. I'm like, I mean, I get that. The kid is so creepy and just like, you know, whatever. He's just doing his own thing. He's chilling. He's leaning up against a tree, sculpting a shiv. It seems. But I'm just like they're just walking into the property and walking through the house, and no one's doing anything about it. So I'm just like, okay, I guess I'm glad they've been discovered so soon. And the first thing that Bash says is trespassers. So yeah, I thought they were like completely fucked immediately. I'm like, oh, you know, because Oliver's so freaking scared about, you know, dying.
He's so jumpy.
So jumpy. He's the jumpiest jumper there ever was. Yeah, so, you know, we get like a whole another sequence of them being, you know, going off and pairing off again with the same billionaire. Each member of the trio is back again with who they were last time. Camilla just being Camilla, being like, you know, how's your apartment going? You know, and that was an interesting conversation. Like, you know, everything that happens with her at the end of the episode makes sense. When she says at the end that she was the one that made the offer in the apartment, I wasn't surprised because, like, why would she spend the time remodeling it? I mean, just because. I mean, yes, I guess she's a billionaire and she can do what she wants because she's eccentric and weird and interesting like that. But it makes more sense now. And so for her to be like, asking him about it, and then just, I can't remember. I'm going blank because I'm getting really tired, but there was something in their discussion that made Oliver not want to ask any more questions, and I can't remember what that part was. Do you guys remember?
Did it have something to do with his apartment?
Yeah, I don't remember now.
Because I'm pretty sure. Because, I was going to say, I don't like, once he found out that Camilla was the one that made the offer.
That's at the end, but I'm talking about the scene earlier. But I apologies, everyone. I've completely forgotten because I swear I just remember Oliver being scared immediately then, and like she was like, "Any more questions?" And he didn't want to do anything. Anyway, whatever. More stuff with Mabel and Jay. That's kind of where we get the reveal about sort of what's, they're not just there playing board games, they're actually there for a reason. And we find out later what that reason is. And then I just love that we got more of Christoph Waltz and Steve Martin, and I just need more scenes with the two of them. Really, because it was just great. But that being said, I did have one criticism, and that was the fact that like Charles follows Bash outside, and he has a knife, and Charles makes a point of saying, when Bash asks him, "Are you gonna, have you something to say? Have you come to say something?" And Charles is just like, "I'm just gonna wait for you to put the knife down," and then they start talking, and then Charles goes straight for the "you're a murderer," blah blah blah, and he's still holding the knife, and I was just like, "What are you doing? What do you mean? You just said you weren't going to do this until the knife was gone, and now he's pointing the knife at you." Come on. That was a bit silly. But apart from that, it was good because I just kind of enjoyed how Bash talks about Algernon, his son / potential clone. I'm accepting the headcanon. And just about how, he just wants to live longer for his son, and he wants to be there for him and help him grow and all this. Like, his intentions really do seem to be noble, I think. I mean, there still could be a twist down the track of him being the absolute worst human ever, but I think for now, I think, like I said at the top of the show, I think Camilla's the one that we really, and that could, again, misdirects, red herrings all over the place. This is a murder mystery show after all. But I don't know, I feel like Bash is safe at this point. What did you guys think? Fulya, sort of like a revisit to our earlier scenes where we've split off with all our, like, each character has kind of gone away for a bit. Did you like these scenes more than the first time, or do you have what were your thoughts here?
I like that they did it again, because the moment Bash walked off Steve, Charles was like, "I'm gonna go follow him," and then immediately I thought, yeah, they're gonna split off into the same the same people that they did last time. So I kind of like that they wanted to keep that continuity going. So that was interesting. It would have been cool to see how they would have interacted with different billionaires, and in that respect, to see what other kind of like responses they could have gotten out of them. But I'm still happy with the fact that they're stuck with their same billionaire. I think with with Camilla and Oliver was already so against going there in the first place, so he's already shaking in his cowboy boots. And he was a bit reluctant this time around in asking questions. So it was interesting to see him sit there all very closed off and just trying to mention a couple of bits and pieces here and there. He does sit there quietly mostly though. And Camilla just goes off on her own little tangent. She does mention to him in that moment that she was the one who put in the offer. But she doesn't mention anything about the Arconia itself, obviously. So that was interesting. And I had a feeling it was going to be her anyway, because I thought, who would put in an offer that big? That like, honestly, it couldn't have been anyone else but a billionaire. So it had to be one of those three. And after she had did the little makeover of the dining room, I thought, I think it's her. Yeah, so that was one thing. And then Charles and Bash, those two together, they're so good. The conversations that they have. It's just how Bash gets very metaphorical about life and things that happens in life, and the fact that he kind of reminisces about not wanting anyone to die, so he couldn't be the murderer because he went through the whole, his father passed away, and that's when he dived into the longevity of life and trying to preserve his life so that his son doesn't have to go through what he went through with his dad. So I kind of see how that could be, nice and sweet in a way from his perspective, but it's also like, how far can you take the living forever thing, like you can't, there's no such thing as living forever, really.
Yes,
At the moment, we don't have that.
Yes, there is. You clone yourself, and then you have a plethora of organs that you can replace.
But it's not the same.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
It's like the ship of Theseus.
And then
change the mast, change the sails. Is it the same?
And then we have our Mabel and Jay split off, and the fact that they have that the chat about the fact that they can't. Mabel's like, we can't investigate you, so you're also my boss, so I can't date you. So what are we doing here? And in that sort of situation, it's like, I was hoping that Mabel would push back on him in that way as well, because I'm like, he lied to you, yeah. So he's not, he's a billionaire that doesn't care about anything but himself. So no,
But
go
he's
away.
cute.
Nah, he's all right.
I think he's cute, but I'm easy, so.
Don't you
Yeah.
change yourself. He's
So-
missing a finger, maybe.
Yeah, well, yes, he is missing a finger, so yeah. Anyway. I think that's all I've got to say.
Great. Mike, what did you make of this sequence?
Excuse me. Yeah, with Charles and Bash, a lot of interesting decisions that Charles made. It's they're not really good at this investigation thing, are they? Even after 5 seasons.
They're still amateurs.
Yeah. They sort of fall into the procedures and accidentally discover stuff. and that's why the show is sort of really interesting. It's not the most competent detectives on the case, but yeah, but they get results. Yeah, it's really interesting. I can't really add too much of what's been said. Even Mabel, like, sort of flirting, sort of not with a potential like suspect is kind of suspect as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's yeah, it is that thing of it's like it should be like annoying, but it's sort of endearing at the same time of their sort of quasi stupidity when it comes to like getting down to the nitty gritty, and they shouldn't be doing this, but they are, and I like it, and yeah, and Oliver in cowboy boots. It's always fun. We forgot to mention the cowboy boots.
Yes, we haven't mentioned the cowboy boots. It's brilliant. Yeah. And totally worth him talking about Loretta and, you know, wearing the boots and only the boots. Just absolutely fantastic. Cool. All right. Well, so yes, once the jig is sort of up, Mabel decides to challenge the billionaires to a game, and whoever wins gets what they want. The billionaires will tell what's really going on. If our trio wins, and then if our trio loses, then they have to stop investigating completely the billionaires, podcast or no podcast. And then, you know, Bash, being Bash, makes a lovely joking threat upon their lives, which I just, as he's still holding this bloody knife, that was very funny. Now, I found this whole sequence really interesting because, I mean, I enjoyed the premise of them playing a game, and the game they actually played, Celebrity, is a game I would really like to play myself. It was fun just to watch them be a little silly and a little funny and whatever. And of course, it ends up with, you know, the trio winning. The problem I had with this sequence is how they get there, because basically, as soon as even though Bash says he's joking, it's too much for Oliver, and this is his breaking point. He's like, and that's a wrap, I'm out, and he just leaves. He's just like, I've had enough. I'm not putting my life at risk anymore. I'm married now. And he's a bit harsh, but I feel like it's gotten to a point where, like, this is how he feels, and, like, they are ignoring him because they're believing it to be part of his narcissistic nature, and maybe it is, but, like, he's married. They're not married. They don't have a significant other. They don't really have any close family. You know, that's in the show very much. So it's just this whole thing of, like, you know, Oliver being like, I'm out because I've got something, you know, to live for, I guess, beyond this. Like, someone will miss me if something happens to me. And so I could understand where he's coming from. And then, of course, you get the twist of, like, the game, like, the category that they get when they pull the card is Broadway. And, of course, you're like, oh, well, fuck. You know, Oliver shouldn't have left. But then they win anyway because Mabel just remembers everything that that Oliver said about
and Charles too.
And yeah, like, they just remember, and I'm just like, and I get how that kind of connects to what the billionaires did, because, like, they basically just rattled off their historical figures, and they were all connected to them in some way, whether or not they knew them personally, or, you know, in the case of Jay Flug, his grandfather, you know, had dinner with Henry Kissinger or whatever it was. But like, I get what they're trying to do there, but for me, it just kind of felt easy for them to get out of it, being like, cause I don't think it was, the payoff was very satisfying. I don't know if you guys feel the same. Maybe I don't know. It just didn't work for me for some unknown reason, but like, I still enjoyed watching it. Like, it was fun because I especially like enjoyed the the fun bit of emotion that Mabel expressed at the end of the game when they were like, "Yes, we won, mic drop." Like, that was kind of fun. Yeah, I don't know, Fulya, what do you think? Do you think it was a bit like too easy for them to get out of that situation, or did it work for you?
I agree
Thank
because
you.
it just they got the category Broadway, and then they're like, ah, crap, this is where we need Oliver. He'd kill it. But then as Mabel started and the timer started, she's like going through the card. She's like, pass, pass, and then Charles is like, don't say pass, say something else. Just yelling at her. And then all of a sudden, things clicked in an instant. Like, oh, and then just kept going. And then as soon as she started rattling off the one, and then Charles getting it right, and then the second one, and then the third one, I'm like, oh yeah, okay, they're gonna win this, and they're gonna win it by one, and and lo and behold, they do. And I'm like, that's just too convenient. It's too convenient. How would you know all of and remember all of those names that easily? Ugh. Yeah, it's just, I think it was too easy. Yeah, I wasn't overly surprised. Is that the word I'm looking for? No, I can't think of it. But
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. Like,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. It was a bit too convenient, I guess. Yeah.
yeah.
Yes. Mike, what did you think? Do you think the same? Did this work for you in terms of them? I mean, it makes sense for, like, there has to be a way for them to get out of the situation, but I don't know. How did it play for you?
Yeah. I think this is also, if I'm thinking of it like a character choice, um, in a way, it felt like they were dismissive of what Oliver was contributing to the proceedings, and yeah, Oliver is sort of becoming more aware. It's like, oh, this is what they think of me, and he's sort of having that sort of crisis of now things have changed because I'm married and I've got like that responsibility to actually stay around and stick around. And why am I doing stupid shit like going into the lion's den, basically? So he just picked up stumps and left. And having the category as Broadway, you can sort of see it within the other two. This stuff Oliver knows, basically, and we got out of it through the knowledge of Oliver. So maybe he's not just a one-trick pony, and sort of reorganizing their sort of relationship that they would have with Oliver. Sure, he can be annoying and having all the stories in the world that all evolve around him, but therefore he is useful in the party. So I think it's more to do with that than being convenient of having they got out of it really easily. Yeah, but I think that's probably what the intention was of having Oliver contribute without being there. And but Oliver does save the day of having a spurt of heroism and coming to the rescue, as it were.
Yes.
On the back of a excavator, and then driving very, very slowly back to New York.
Yeah, that was great. That was really good. Again, A plus Oliver this episode. Yes, before we talk about Oliver, because I want to talk about him a bit more. I just wanted to touch on the reveal here that we get with the casinos. This is who's wanting to build the casino in New York, and it's the billionaires trying to get it done, and they're playing for whose design gets to be the winner. I wasn't surprised by this at all, to be honest. Should have seen it coming at the end with with Camilla, but hey, here we are. So that was fun. Now, again, because I'm just so fucking tired. I can't remember how, because I want to get to Oliver's, coming to the rescue, but I've forgotten, because obviously the finger gets discovered, right? The finger's in the trophy, and then we have this whole thing about that being found out and revealed and whatnot. But yeah, I've forgotten. There's a chunk of the episode missing from my brain right now that I can't access. So I'm just going to go to Oliver, and we'll just talk about Oliver. Because I really want to talk about the scene with the two random people. Because
that's I was so sus of those two. As soon as I saw and they're looking at each other and they're going, yeah, okay. And I'm like, oh, these two are gonna murder him or take him away or imprison him somehow. And my brain didn't really click about the whole silver alert. But anyway, continue.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're right, Fulya, because when you're you see the bit at the start of the episode when you're they get the silver alert and you're getting the thing from their perspective, and then Oliver comes running around the corner and you realize it's about him, and you're like, what the fuck's going on? And then when we find out later, it's because Oliver was so stressed about what they were walking into, he messaged Loretta, and then he ran out of reception, and so Loretta's reported him missing, and it's just fucking hilarious comedy. I loved it. And then I had the same thought that you had, though, when we start to see more of the couple that he runs into and the way they're talking. I was like, wait, are these guys actually going to be something? Is something bad about to happen to Oliver?
I swear they looked like they were the types that would be murderers. They were also the way that they were talking to each other, and they were responding to Oliver, and the way that he was discussing everything was it was almost like they knew who he was and all that sort of stuff. And I was my eyes were just and my brain's just ticking away. I'm like, okay, they're definitely gonna do something bad here, but then nothing happens.
It's great. I liked it because I really enjoyed more the twist of them thinking Oliver was crazy.
Yeah.
I think that's very funny because if you don't know Oliver and you don't know who he knows, the fact that he's name dropping all these famous people and stuff, and we know he's legit, but they just think because he's Oliver, because he's speaking truth, but he's also putting the Oliver zest all over it. You're just oh, they think he's a psycho. Okay, great. And then when he's I'm gonna I've got to go save my friends, that, like you said, Mike, that courage comes through finally. And then he's like, I'm taking your horse. And they were like, whoa. And then the horse was crazy. And then he made a comment about the horse, everyone around here being psycho. And it was, yeah, and then that perfectly just led into the tractor moment with him just coming in, just like the cavalry's charging in. Oh my god. And it was just great too, because like if the billionaires, I don't really believe the billionaires were coming after them to hurt them or anything, to be honest, because they weren't really making an effort, because it was just all very slow. Like
Yeah.
they could have easily caught them.
Oh yeah.
Like it was just really funny. Yeah, I enjoyed this whole thing. Oliver is just the MVP of this episode. Fulia, what else do you have to say about this sequence?
Yeah, look, honestly, just just those. I think that's all I really wanted to sort of mention. Just
Yeah.
the fact that those two just immediately looked sus to me, and then Oliver coming around, them getting this silver alert, and then like it didn't for me. Just it took me a while before I realized that the silver alert was for Oliver. Actually, no, I realized it was for Oliver when he came around the corner, but it didn't click properly until the point where he was going to get the horse. He's like, I need you to take me back to my friends. I want to save my friends.
Yeah.
Until that point, I'm just like, oh, wait, no, they're going to take him to the police station because he's been reported missing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and it was hilarious to see that the vehicle of choice that he decided to go with was a tractor. Oh, jeez. Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. Mike, do you have any other thoughts on Oliver here and his little side quest to come back and save his friends?
Yeah. I think it's just a comedy of errors of people getting the silver alert and not knowing him of it's a grey nomad who thinks he's probably not all there and he got lost and therefore it's like, yeah, we're gonna look after you. And it's all right. It's like, I know all these famous people. I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do. It's that sort of thing. And yeah, and just the crescendo of just taking the tractor and it's like gung ho. Help is on the way, dear. Yay. Yeah. Always fun. Will they come back? Doubt it. I think it's just one and done.
Yeah.
Which is a shame. And I don't think we should just profile these people. Just like, yeah, they're the killers.
It was them all along.
Yeah, out of all the people that we can say the suspects, I don't think they're just random people just doing their thing. And thought, yeah, they're good citizens. They were going to help a poor old soul who's lost in the woods, who needs to go back to the home because they'll be safe there, and needs their favorite chair and eat pudding. And that is Oliver.
Yes, give him his pudding. All right, let's just go to the ending so we can wrap this up. Yes, so they get back to the Arconia after escaping, and they've contacted Detective Williams because they have the finger, and they're like, now we can actually kind of get to the bottom of who the finger belongs to. But alas, Camilla interrupts and comes in, and I really kind of liked this line of like, I never go to bed before ending a fight, so I've just come here to get everything off my chest and take care of this little tiff with us. I thought that was kind of funny. And yeah, and then she basically just says that she's the one that put the offer down on Oliver's apartment, and that her plan is to turn the Arconia into a casino, which feels like the most obvious thing in the world, but I somehow didn't see it, and as I was watching, I'm like, oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I didn't see
That
it
makes
coming
sense.
either.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. Yeah, so yeah, and then she just, wants the finger back, obviously, because that's the part of the whole crux of this thing is resting upon this finger, and no, she gets her finger back because she decides to point a gun at our heroes, and there we are, and
I was gonna say Mabel was trying to call her bluff, but then when she cocks the gun, well, they all started freaking out and shaking, and I'm just like, real? Would she really go that far? Maybe she would.
Yeah.
You don't know what Bridget Jones is capable of.
This is
Bridget
true. I've never
Jones.
watched the movie, so I wouldn't know.
Yes, yes. Yeah. So the plot thickens. All eyes are on Camilla now, but who knows if she's actually the mastermind of this whole thing. Fulia, do you have any final thoughts on the ending that you want to drop before we head out of here?
I liked her jacket cape thing. That
Yeah, it was
that
cool.
that caught my eye. the one thing of her outfit is just her little jacket cape. I like that. I want it. But yeah, no, the whole thing sort of flipping on the trio, and the fact that they had no choice but to give up the finger. But now they've contacted the detective. That detective's gonna come to them the next day or whatever, in the next episode. She's gonna be like, "Hey, you said you had the finger. What's going on?" Well, here's the story. That's what's gonna happen.
Yep.
Jeez. But yeah, look, interesting plot twist. Learning about that. The only thing that worries me is that we're gonna find out Camilla wasn't the one who killed Lester. Or Nick. Or Nikki, I should say.
Yeah.
Nikki didn't nick.
Because we also find out during this episode that the reason for the glitches in the security footage is because Bash doesn't like people knowing that he's been out and about. That is the only reason why they've been played around with and been edited. The fact that he doesn't want evidence of people seeing him doing stuff. Which is insane. So crazy.
Never mind the man behind the curtain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, good point to bring up. Yeah, they address the footage. Yeah, no, that makes sense, because like that, I feel like that just ties into what I was saying about I don't think Bash has really got any kind of bad blood here.
Yeah.
To be honest. So yeah. Yes. All right, Mike, take us home. Your final thoughts. Your thoughts on the ending here and Camilla's rage.
Her little. I'm getting sick of it. I'm bringing a gun to this party. Yeah, definitely escalates, and she's buying the whole thing, and raising the casino instead of it being underground is going to go all the way up to the top. So the Arconan is going to be the proper casino that it is. People are going to lose their place. So does that mean she's bought everyone else's apartments? So therefore, if she's bought all the apartments, then the whole building's hers.
It's kind of seems like the vibe. She mentions she's like, I'm the one that's been buying up all the apartments.
I think there's probably going to see next time of everyone saying, everyone now admitting they've got the offer, and they're moving out. That's going to be interesting. I wonder if there's anyone is being held up. I don't know. It's interesting. I don't think she's the murderer, but I think she's just brought a gun, and Bash has got a knife, and everything's becoming Clue now. Does that mean Jay's got a rope, or a lead pipe, or a candlestick?
Feel like it's going in that direction, doesn't it?
Yeah.
A little bit.
I see patterns. I like patterns. I have no theories. So
Okay.
I can't think.
Apart from Algernon being a clone.
Yes. And the main killer is, of course, the real Steve Martin. Yeah.
We're still going with that theory? Okay.
Yep. If Steve Levy's in this universe, therefore Steve Martin's in this universe.
Okie dokie.
And Ron Howard's in this universe, so therefore the studio is in the same universe.
Ah,
as
Ron.
Ron, yeah.
Ron.
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 Now we're just making noises.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is what the show has been reduced to. Okay. I think that's the perfect time to end this.
Yes.
Put us out of our misery. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. That was Popcorn Culture. Those were our thoughts on Only Murders in the Building, Season 5, Episode 7, Silver Alert. Very enjoyable episode. Only 3 episodes left now this season. We're already near the end. 3 to go. Who killed Lester? Who killed Nikki? And are they the same person?
We will soon find out.
We will, indeed.
They have to have the upper body strength to get him up on that hook.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. That's the podcast. We're done. It's time to go to bed. Sleep time. It's sleepy time. 1, 2, 3, and that's was a podcast.
Called Fred.
Remember to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Blue Sky for the latest Fred content.
If you'd like to listen to Freddy Alien, you can find us on SoundCloud, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts.
If you'd like to watch Fred the Alien, you can head over to youtube.com/Fred the Alien Productions. And if you're watching us right now, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon to be notified of future content. And if you're watching us live over on Twitch, make sure to give us a follow on the way out. Twitch.tv/Fred the Alien Twitch.
Do it, you filthy animals.
Yes, you filthy animal. I've been a Kendall Richardson.
I've been a Fulya and
And I've been, I need to get up in like 5 hours, Michael Lister.
And
you just experienced a podcast called Fred.
Remember to eat beef.
Remember, Freddy lives, Loki dies, the Doctor is in, and there's no time for Firefly, man. No time, man.
Remember to look after yourself and your mental health.
Yes, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. My name is Games.
And
See you.